sorted? Is it sorted, Cal? Is it sorted? Is it sorted?
Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Inside 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Someone told them to sack me. Someone said to sack me. One, two, three, four, five. One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I could.
One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here we are at the Blackpool Winter Gardens for this VIP boxing promotions.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Special of Blackpool Winter Gardens. VIP promotions puts on the 7th fight card. And we are expecting fireworks in the garden.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here we are, Lee. 1, 2. This is microphone 1.
One, two. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here we are, the Winter Gardens in Blackpool.
Suspension Oliver 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Show 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Here we are now, whether it's the... Here we go, it's Steve Reed, the MC. He's just going to tell everybody that we're a bit delayed. Here we go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. On the 12th time, we're going to start off with Brad Lane, who's in here, Brad Lane board. Before we move on to Sean Arkwright, Scouser. And then, a bit later on, Thomas Berry, Lewis Wright, Levi Bars, Ryan McMillan, who makes his debut, and then the local boy Jake ABROL. Then a late change of opponent. 5 out of the 7 fights tonight are Blackpool-based boys.
One, two.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Who's the one on the right?
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Yo, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1. Let's go. Try this.
He's doing Brad's one.
Well, you're very welcome to Blackpool's Winter Gardens for this excellent night of fighting here. Well, what a venue we have as well. I'd say arguably the finest in the country, certainly aesthetically anyway, and it's going to be a packed little venue here tonight. Alongside me is the VIP boxing promoter Steve Wood and, of course, the former European Super Bantamweight champion Spencer Oliver. He gets absolutely everywhere, this fella. But we'll start with you, Steve. 7 fights tonight. The life of a promoter, we know, is not the easiest. You've had your, I suppose, traumas this week, changes of opponents, all the rest of it. The usual drill for you, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is the usual drill. Everyone thinks it's easy because you just see the end product, but to put it together is a very, very hard job, and this has been exceptionally hard. And you know, we had 10 fights 7 days ago, including the Commonwealth Youth title fight, which would be the first one ever done in the UK, and unfortunately the Ghanaian didn't get over here. Reasons behind that, I'm going to do it again, but you know, we've managed to pull it together, and I think the viewers tonight are going to see 7 good fights with some really top prospects. Is really what I'm looking forward to.
We get it every time when Woody puts on a show. You get a little bit of everything. You get some experience, you get a debutant, you get some of the novices coming through, and there's so many of the Blackpool-based kids as well.
I mean, you know, Spence, obviously, you as a pro, I mean, as an amateur, you boxed everywhere. As a pro, London was your fortress. It's a chance for these lads here to make this their home tonight, isn't it?
Absolutely. You know, I think that every promoter has their problems in build-ups to fights. Unfortunately for Steve, you know, he has had these fights that have fallen through, but we've still got a brilliant show here tonight. Seven fights on the bill, local kids. You know, it's all about grassroots stuff and building these kids in their area. Remember Brian Rose, the home of Brian Rose here, wasn't it? The Winter Gardens. What an exceptional venue we've got here as well. I mean, my brother boxed here in like 1989 in the NABC finals, and just, it's one of those sort of like venues that you look at and think, wow, so iconic, and the way that it's been kept, really there's an atmosphere in here already, and with these local kids that are boxing on here tonight, it's a big opportunity for them. Great crowd turned out as well, you know, and yeah, really looking forward to an eventful night.
Now we want to get on with the action, and it is being streamed. You're very welcome, of course, if you're watching via the VIP boxing stream, of course, YouTube talkSPORT's YouTube boxing channel as well, so a big audience, Steve, and good to see as well for kids like Jake ABROL, who tops the bill, a really exciting 21-year-old from Blackpool, and also the likes of Brad Ray, who's going to open the show imminently. And again, now we see Brad on the big shows, and he's just had a couple now with you on these kind of shows as well, and you want to push him right back up there again, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he shouldn't really be on these shows. He should be fighting on the Sky TV shows, and unfortunately, even though we've done a deal with Sky, a 2-fight deal, he's going to fight Mark Effer, and then he was going to fight Callum Simpson for the British title. They've just not had the dates to do it, so rather than keep him in the gym not fighting, we're keeping him active, and I think you've seen him improve in the last few fights, and he's going to be ready when he does go back on the TV show. Unfortunately tonight, again, we're struggling to match him. He's had 2 quick knockouts. Nobody wants a piece of him, but you know, we've had to put him up 2 to 3 weights tonight, fighting a cruiserweight, but he's out there, and I think you're going to see again tonight another great display from him.
Steve, can I just say quickly on that with Brad Ray there, like you've kept him active, which is so important for a fighter. That inactivity really does play a part in their performances moving forward. You can go back 4 fights, you know, he lost a tight fight to Tyler Denny. Look where Tyler Denny is now. You've done a great job of keeping Brad Ray active, which is so important.
Yeah, and I think you've hit the neck of the wood. So it is hard. It's hard for him to sell tickets when he's on the small shows. They've been used to watch him on the big shows. We've got to invest a bit more money to get the opponents because they don't want to fight him. But in the long run, it's going to benefit him, because I think when he gets back on the big scene, he'll be more than ready. Whereas if you have 12, 18 months out, which a lot of people do, you come back and you're not ready. I've even seen it in Josh Waddington's career where, you know, he's been kept on the shelf and then he's not performed as well as he would. He's obviously done really well in ABROL, but if he'd have had a fight in those 6 months in between the 12 months gap, I think he'd have won those world titles, and I'm learning my lesson as you go along. You're always learning in this job.
Well, I think the action is about to get underway, so without further ado, we'll talk about your outfit a bit later on, Steve, but we're going to get on with the action, so let's cross for the first time this evening to our MC for the night, Mr. Steve Reed.
Well, a very good evening, everybody, and welcome to the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel. You join us in a magnificent venue in Blackpool, the Blackpool Winter Gardens. My name is Darren Rees. I'll be leading the commentary tonight. For the first couple of fights, I'll be joined by Lee Whitehead. And the first two contenders in the ring is Bradley Ray, a well-known fighter, and Ryan LeBourne. You might have seen Brad fighting at a lot lower weights, including when he fought Tyler Denny for the British middleweight title, which was his only loss, and you're thinking, why on earth is he fighting up at this weight? And it's because he can't really get an opponent, couldn't get an opponent at short notice. But here he is, Lee, looking incredibly relaxed and back to business.
Yep, Roderick fighting his significant midweight, although he does look the bigger man. Tall, 6'5". He's putting it the ball. Do well to stay near and probably make a good job.
He just threw a nice 1-2 and then followed it up with the lead hook, which hit the right ear of LeBourne, and that was a bit of a stinger. And we know that when Ray wants to, he really can put those shots together nicely. And when you're a few feet away from the ring, my goodness, can you hear them thud. But here he is in the Blackpool Winter Gardens, just stalking his man as he follows him round the ring, popping those shots out nicely.
Brad's had 8 stoppages in 18 wins. The last few fights he's not really had any opponents. He's been fighting like a journeyman.
Absolutely. Any fighter wants to stay busy, stay active, just keep themselves in the ring, get away from that opportunity of themselves building up that ring rust. And there's some great fights out there for him. You know, the likes of Callum Simpson, the super middleweight champion, British champion, and there's plenty of others out there domestically, and he's such a good, exciting fighter to watch. And the last fight, he demolished his opponent in one round. It was a proper demolition job, and Spencer Oliver, who will be joining us in a short while, made a joke to Brad as we walked in and said, can you make this go a little bit further than one round? Because I don't get a chance to speak, Darren gets to deal with the speaking.
First, maybe Brad listened to him, but just up the ante a little bit. Good shots, 1 second from gloves though.
Has he got to be careful, Lee? I know he's clearly looking the more skilled fighter here, but they were good body shots, as I just said that. But because he's fighting a bigger, heavier opponent, someone he may not have sparred with or whatever else. In fact, that's probably wrong, because I know he spars with the likes of Lewis Wright in the gym, but you know, hasn't been in a competitive match at this kind of weight before, has he?
No. I think he banged on that, yeah, but he's a big lad, and I don't think LeBourne has got the skills of Lewis Wright.
The one thing which seems to be causing LeBourne problems in the opening round here is Brad's speed. The way that he just chucks that 1-2 out and then he whips a shot into the body, and LeBourne just can't defend that, can he? He's just not quick enough. The reflexes aren't there. He's catching him under his elbows almost every time.
Commentating fantastic. He's ready as it is. Bradley Ray's far too good for him. We just heard he's on first today. And like, as you said before, he's looking for the build-ups. That's like the English or the British stars again.
Well, into the second round of this one, scheduled for 6. Bradley Ray in the black shorts, black boots, and Ryan Lavon in the white shorts and the black boots. If you've just joined us here on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel. One of the things that I really like about Brad, apart from his fighting style, is he just doesn't seem to change. He's just always so chilled out, so relaxed, just a chirpy character, a big smile on his face, and just seems to be somebody who really enjoys his boxing. And you can see that every time he steps into the ring, that character just carries on through those ropes, doesn't it?
Well, I've actually known him since he was a kid, Darren, you know, so I've got more insight than most. Yeah, lovely kid outside the ring, get him inside the ring, becomes a bit of a monster. You know, that lovely face changes, he certainly punches with spite. You know, I'm hoping for big things from Bradley Ray. He's had a little setback, lovely body.
That was a beautiful right uppercut which landed under the left elbow of Ryan Lavon, and he really felt that one, and you could see him wince from just a few feet away, and he's done well to get to his feet there. And Ray will now smell blood, and there's quite a long time left in this round, and I'm pretty sure he's going to put his foot on the gas, and then down he goes again. This time it was a lead hook under the right elbow, and those ones hurt. They take the wind out of you, and the fact that he's got up for a second time is credit to him.
Yeah, totally agree, Darren. 2 lovely body shots there from Ray, and as you said,
and the towels come in. It was just all too much for Ryan Lavon. Those body shots were just unforgiving every single time. They might not look like he's putting too much into them, but they're perfectly well performed. The way that he just shifts his weight on his foot, digs his toes into the canvas, and just really shoves everything that he's got through that left glove of his. No wonder they're putting people down.
Yeah, the biomechanics was perfect, and you know, if you heard it out there, it was a lovely sounding shot. We're close enough to hear a lovely sound like that. The big hand hitting in the belly.
So there will be plenty of people who will be thinking, you know, what did Brad get out of that fight? What was the point in that? You know, that only went a couple of rounds. He knocked his man down, but these rounds and building up to a camp and all the other things that go with it, they're important, aren't they, Lee?
Certainly, yeah. You've got to keep the guy busy. You've got to keep the boxer busy. You know, if he doesn't fight, you know, the ring craft has gone. You know, you're out with sorts of like sparring, but there's nothing like the real thing, Darren.
Absolutely. The amount of times I've heard fighters talk about sparring, and when I sparred someone, and how sparring and actually competing is a completely different thing. But good performance from Brad Ray. Now let's get the official time of the stoppage from our MC, Mr. Steve Reed. With a good show of appreciation there between Ray and LeBourne, and in a moment we'll get Bradley up to the stage with Spencer and Dom for a chat, for doing all the usual stuff and the pictures and everything which the fighters need to do, going through the motions. But some good stuff there from Ray. Really, really lovely flow to his punches, the way that he put those 1-2s together, and then sinking in those lead hooks and those backhand hooks to the body was fantastic. And he joins Dom, so let's catch a word of him now.
Well, Brad, short work again, but you've gone beyond the first round for the first time in 3 fights anyway. How do you feel in there? You look good, obviously, good body work.
It's good, mate, yeah. I feel good, I feel like each fight we're just building and building and building, and you know, I'm incorporating the things into my fights that we're working on in the gym, and yeah, Andy's happy, so I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, as I mentioned, the previous 2 fights, short work. I mean, obviously Ryan's a tough boy as well, but I think that first body shot, I think he tried, obviously, got up twice after that, but there was so much kind of spite in that. You hurt him in the perfect spot, really, didn't you?
Yeah, Dan, no, he's a big lad, he's a big boy, like you say, he's a tough lad, don't really get stopped much, but you hit anyone with the right body shot. It's something that we've been doing in the gym as well, so I'm happy that I managed to get it off.
You lads with Andy, obviously Andy ABROL, based here in Blackpool. Obviously you're a Manchester lad, but you're always in a hurry, you lot. You always like the stoppages. You've set the tone now for the rest of the gym. Are they all under pressure now?
That's it. The best thing about that gym is, since I come, is the friendly competition. Like, we all want each other to win, but we all want to do better than each other. And if you don't, if there's 4 stoppages tonight and 1 not, they'll be getting it in the gym. They'll be getting it. They won't hear the end of it.
We spoke to Steve Wood prior to you getting in the ring tonight, and he said obviously it's great you being on these shows, it keeps you busy, it's the right thing to do, but he wants you on those bigger shows. I mean, what do you want now?
Yeah, I want titles, mate. I want big fights, and like, with all due respect, like to these shows and to the opponents that I'm in there with, like, I've been dealing with the people who they put in front of me, like, in a fashion that people don't, you know what I mean? I'm getting them out of there 1 and 2 rounds, and I want big fights, I want titles, and I was saying to you earlier, you know, there's my 20th fight tonight, and in my eyes, I've got nothing to show for it. I don't have titles, you know, 1 title fight I've lost, you know what I mean? I want to show the people that I'm at that level, and I think once I get my foot in the door, once I get a chance, I'm going to stay there, but, you know, it's just getting that chance, and just got to be patient, but it is coming.
Like many athletes, you're just a bit hard on yourself. You're only 26. You've had a good few fights under your belt now. Now it could be your time, but you've done the business tonight. You can go and support your mates now. So well done, Brad, and we look forward to seeing you again soon.
Nice one, Dom. Thank you very much.
Well, there you go. Now let's bring in a man that knows all about these big nights. Spencer Oliver, how impressed were you with Brad?
Listen, yeah, very impressed. You know, he had to box out of his weight class, which is always difficult. And you go into those fights sort of like, you know, where it's difficult to keep yourself motivated for those fights. You know, I heard Brad saying there, you know, that he wants the title fights. You look where Tyler Denny's at now, you know, move on 4 fights, where he is right now. He's boxing on these shows, waiting for that opportunity. Tyler Denny's got the opportunity. Big, you know, Riyadh season card at Wembley Stadium, chief support. You go, he must be frustrated looking at that, you know. So boxing, there's a lot of luck involved in boxing as well, and it is about, you know, sometimes you can be the chairman of the who needs him, who wants him club. Brad seems to fall there because he's a very good fighter. Look what he done there to a cruiserweight effectively. He's 2 or 3 weight divisions above where he should be, and he got the job done, and he done it in style. Forget the kid's record or what he's all about. He's a survivor, and when they survive, they're very difficult to get rid of, get out of there. But he done it in fashion. Left hook to the body, right hook to the body, job done. Good performance.
Thing is as well, again, he's in a hurry, as you would expect him to be. I mentioned there, just 26. Again, the Denny thing was a blow, but it can be a blessing in disguise, obviously, going forward. And again, you mentioned, look at the inspiration he can take from Tyler. He's going to fight a bit bigger now as well. He could even be a light heavy. He's a big lad. He's a big lad, obviously, for a middleweight, ridiculously big. So now, again, in that bigger weight category, you can imagine opportunities. And also, he will step in with anyone in the away corner as well, which makes a massive difference.
Absolutely, Don. Like you say, you know, he was campaigning at middleweight. I think he goes super middle, possibly even light heavy now. Like you say, he's a very big kid. He's growing still, 26 years of age, still improving. He's not a finished article, and there are opportunities. It's all about opportunity. He's waiting for that opportunity, and when it comes, I'm sure we'll see something from Brad Ray, because the kid can fight. He's a great fighter.
It's all about opportunity tonight, so let's get on with the action. Over to our MC again. Here's Steve Reed.
Well, here we go, bout number 2 this evening at the Blackpool Winter Gardens. I've got to apologise, I have actually got a co-commentator with me, Lee Whitehead, and we've had some technical issues and we're aware that his mic's either been in and out or not working at all. We're working on that and hopefully you'll be able to hear him pretty soon.
Hopefully, Darren, it's working.
If you can't, don't worry, I'll keep you company as we go through this 6th-round bout between Sean Arkwright and Dimitri Atroka. Atroka from Belarus, 16 wins, 19 losses, 0 draws. He's only been stopped once, and that was all the way back in 2018, so he's a tough cookie. And Arkwright has got some good support in here, just like the Liverpudlian fighters always do. There's plenty of Scouse accents around the Blackpool Winter Gardens.
Yeah, nice left up by Arkwright.
Arkwright had said in an interview with Lee Hogan that he had been guilty of being a bit over-eager, just chucking too many shots and going for it, just trying to take his opponent's head off, and that was before the fight before last, and he looked more in control in the last fight, not only of the fight but of himself and his stance and his style and the way that he was doing things, and we're seeing a lot more relaxed style here.
Yes, certainly, Darren. In his last fight, he fought Jake Bray at Grand Central Hall. I was there, yeah, commentating it. He easily beat Bray. That's him back, maybe a little, boxed well. Shot by Atroka.
And that was a good overhand left from Arkwright, which just landed on the temple of Atroka from Belarus. Arkwright really controlling the pace of the fight in the southpaw stance with those dark navy blue shorts and gloves and boots to match, as he just feels his man out with that jab, keeping him at bay and then letting them shots go when he feels he's in the right place to do so.
Yeah, referee for this one, A-star Steve Gray. Arkwright with the Everton colours on. We're back.
And I've got to say, this is the most relaxed I've seen Arkwright box, as even when his man is trying to tie him up on the ropes, he's very, very chilled out and just doing the right thing. But he did get caught there with a jab from the man from Belarus, and they're the shots that you've got to be careful of. And now both of them are throwing some good shots back at each other, and this is the sort of thing which can wake a fight up, is a shot like that, Lee.
Yeah, nice little duel there. He's shot into life in the last 5 seconds, and we're back on.
Sometimes these types of fights do need an injection of life, and sometimes what that means is someone being hurt or someone feeling a shot to their boots and thinking, cool, I better do something here. And I think that's probably what we saw there. No, by no means do I think that Arkwright was necessarily hurt or he was in danger, but it certainly woke him up and made him start to throw a few shots. If you were the coach in the corner, what sort of information would you be feeding him now? I know we're very, very early into the fight, but happy with what you've seen?
Yeah, happy, but be careful. He just absolutely nailed it, Darren. Got a little bit back from the Belarusian, and he's got to be careful. You've had his record out before. In the past, you know, he's now took the role of journeyman, but he hasn't, you know, he won his first 16 out of 19.
Steve Gray, the referee, A-star referee, brings the two fighters together. And another thing which I'd heard Sean say in recent months was that he feels he's better when he's got a better opponent in front of him. And the more skilled, the more dangerous they are, the better version of Sean Arkwright we're going to see. And I guess, Lee, that's just what we're going to see as he just goes through his career. It's just you've got to go through the motions, and you know, you fight these journeymen. Sometimes they really come to fight, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're boring, sometimes they're electric.
Certainly, you know, the Belarusian here, he should have a little move around. You know, he didn't do anything apart from when he sprung into action. As you say, he got hurt and he came back fighting. You know, he showed us what he can do. As he just absolutely nailed it again, Arkwright is boxing very, very smoothly.
He is, and I really like that lead screw shot which he throws from that southpaw stance, and he's landed it on a Trocker, the man from Belarus. He seems to just be falling short, because what he's doing is he's throwing that screw shot and then overreaching a tiny bit with that straight left hand. But the man from Belarus comes back with a couple of shots of his own just to make sure that Arkwright knows that he's there.
Yeah, caught him a nice left hook on the ear, I think. Warmed his ear up a little bit. Arkwright, you know, he's a little more tentative this round, Darren. He got caught before, and you know, he's come out and he's got, you know, sticking right to the game plan.
Game plan's a good word to bring into our commentary notes here, Lee, because there's lots of fighters who can chuck that game plan away, can't they? And they get caught, and then all of a sudden everything they were meant to do goes out the window. And how much will and how much discipline does a fighter need to be able to keep their head on?
If you want to get to the top, you've got to stick with the game plan. As you say, you know, you can't get too reckless. You get reckless in this game, you end up lying on the floor.
One just slipped through again from the man from Belarus, just ever so slightly grazed the chin of Arkwright, but nothing to trouble him as he just goes round the outskirts of this ring. Good body movement and head movement, still very relaxed, and still doing what he's done in the previous rounds, which is just keeping that distance, controlling the pace of the fight, popping that jab out, and then every so often we'll see a little flurry of punches, and when he puts them together, they go together nicely.
Yeah, plus he's got good footwork. We all need good feet to get around this ring. Without the footwork, we are nothing.
The man from Belarus, Dmitry Trocker, he's not throwing bundles, but when he is throwing stuff, it's stuff which can have an effect, isn't it?
Yeah, he's sucking up. He's sucking up, taking punches on the arms and gloves, and he's coming down with little counters here and there, particularly that left hook.
And he certainly knows how to win, because the first 15 or 16 of his fights were all wins, weren't they, Lee?
Yeah. Look at the box rec, yeah, 16 out of 19. Lost a couple, and since then he's been on the road. He's not won. He's not won since February 2018.
One of the things or many of the things which these away corner fighters are so good at is surviving. They know exactly how to ride the punches. They know every single trick in the book, don't they?
Survivors, they come to earn the money every week. They're busy. If you want to fight every week, you've got to have a good guard, good ring craft, good skills.
Arkwright just switches into the orthodox stance there, and then as I say it, he must have heard me, because he goes back to the southpaw as he looks very chilled and relaxed and looks to hold the centre of the ring and throw that double jab straight back left hand.
He's put some good shots together, showing some good skills, great ring craft.
Arkwright changing direction as he just moves around the outer sides of the ring, and the man from Belarus, Dmitry Otroka, just staying there covering up, but not bundles coming towards him. And what Sean had said about being over eager, he really has got rid of that. And I mean, there was a moment in the opening round where he got caught with something, and then he looked like he was going to show Otroka who was the boss, and then he's gone straight back to his boxing and gone straight back to being very relaxed and picking his shots very well.
Yeah, certainly, Darren. He's mixing well between head and body, and his repertoire of shots is quite wide. You know, he's mixed up nicely, feinting, moving, slipping, changing direction, creating different angles.
It's a good observation, is that, Lou? One of the things, or one of the many things which Sean Arkwright does very well, is he's always doing something, whether he's moving his head or he's moving his body or he's moving his feet or he's feinting. He's constantly doing something, but he did just get caught there with a left hook from the man from Belarus, and that was just another timely reminder that he has got a live opponent in front of him, and he's got one who will throw shots back at him.
Yeah, every now and again, the guy from the east catches him, just to let him know he's still. Steve Craig been pretty much redundant. Nice counter again there.
Good, and we've all of a sudden got some action towards the end of this round, but the two become tangled up, and referee Steve Gray, who hasn't had to do much, pulls the fighters apart. I wonder, as a referee, what sort of fight you want to be reffing. What do you think? Because when there's nothing to do, is that great, or what do you think, Lee?
Yeah, well, when there's nothing to do, you know, there's no infringements, you're not holding, and it must be pretty smooth for you. You know, it's good to watch. As a referee, you've got the best view in the place, and if you don't have to do anything, happy days. It's when you've got to keep stopping them, breaking them, selling them off, infringements, taking points off. It's got to be hard work, you know, and sometimes you have to disqualify them when it comes to infringement.
Yeah, I wonder what goes through the minds of some referees, especially when you've got proper characters in the ring, like Derek Chisora when he's done some of the things which he's done. But anyway, we're not here to talk about those people. We're here at the Blackpool Winter Gardens in the second contest of the evening. We've got 7 bouts in total. The place is filling up nicely, and as I said in the opening segment of the show, was the first few moments of Bradley Ray's fight. What a fantastic venue this is to box in. Good fast jabs there, Lee.
A wonderful place of nostalgia. Good fast jabs by Ara, as you said, the social with Darren. He's singling, doubling, trebling it up, looking good. Then count for the Belarusian again.
Battle of the jabs at the moment as the two of them just bounce around the centre of the ring, and 80% of the time it's just who can get their jab off first. But there comes a screw shot and a few taps to the head upstairs from Arkwright, who in his brain will be looking for a particular shot, I'm sure. And that was a heavy shot, even though it landed on the gloves. You could hear that one thud, and the crowd in here inside the Winter Gardens at Blackpool could hear and feel that one as well.
Yeah, he stepped right in. step right and that's a little bit of power as you move it forward. Lovely backhand over the top.
Really good. Great backhand that was. It timed that nicely, and when I just said about those taps on the heads and just the battle of the jabs, just because, well, both of them, but more Arkwright is looking for a shot in particular, and that may well be the shot which he's been practicing and looking to land and going over and over again in sparring. We don't know, but when it gets through from a few feet away, trust me, I bet those ones hurt, because you can hear them and a trucker will feel them.
Yeah, he's got a low jab. A bit Brendan English comes from a low angle, difficult to defend. It's not a text, so you can't successfully defend those sort of jabs. The Belarusian not offering much back now. Right, I'm Kieran catching that right.
I was just about to say as well, Lee, that this has been probably the slowest round from Dimitri Trocker. He's thrown a lot more back in the previous rounds, but he just seems to be kind of tucking up and soaking up the shots as Arkwright chucks him in.
Yeah, he seems to be, just fitting the role of the journeyman now. He's just doing it up, he's having to move around, he's looking to get his money. He's not trying to throw much back. Arkwright pretty much having his own way.
Well, a bit of fancy footwork at the end there from Arkwright, which got a few claps and cheers from the supporters who have followed him here from Liverpool. Like we said, he's a well-supported fighter. And Lee, going back to what we were saying at the start of this bout, and I read a quote out from Sean Arkwright about being over-eager and wanting to take his opponent's head off. Now, when you mix that in with the crowd which you bring with you, they want to see a bit of that, don't they?
Yeah, the crowd want to see that, but you've got to be cool. You've got to box cool. It's no boxing for the crowd. That's when boxers make mistakes. You've got to stay cool, let them go. And as you commentate on those fights, just take one punch, and that's it. That's game over.
Yeah, it's all about getting that balance right, of making sure that you're doing enough to win the rounds and, of course, win the fight, but also being entertaining enough and bringing enough action that people are enjoying the entertainment which you're putting on. But here we go, starting this round in the same way that the previous round ended, with the Belarusian Dimitri Trocker in the centre of the ring and Sean Arkwright just moving around with that good body movement, popping that jab out.
Yeah. Arkwright having much his own way, just switching again. The Trocker not offering much back now, it's just, Arkwright looks by far the bigger man, Darren. It's in great shape.
He does, he looks a couple of weight divisions up.
Yeah, I look back over Belarusian spikes. He campaigned at heavyweight.
That's good work on the ropes from Arkwright, and he just slipped a straight left hand there from a Trocker and then come back with a decent shot of his own. But got caught square on the nose there. I'm starting to see a slight bit of urgency, or a little bit more of a step on the pedal from Arkwright. And I don't know what was going on there with the Belarusian, but there was a bit of hand gesturing to say, come on, bring it on, I think. I don't know, what did you make of that?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of nastiness in there now. I think it feels like Arkwright's having a little go at him. And he's come back well with that.
Once again, Arkwright keeps a cool head and sticks to his boxing. But he's clearly winning a round, Lee.
Yeah, clearly. Won every round so far on my card. Yours, Darren?
Comfortably winning every single round. And a good 90% of each round as well.
Yes,
you know, there's only very small pockets or very short, brief moments where you could start to score it to the man from Belarus.
It looks to me as though Atraka he's not come to win. He just resigned himself to be the journeyman. He's just having a little go if he gets hurt to let Alright know he's there. I don't think he's come with any great plan to win, do you?
No, I think he started the fight in a lot faster way, and then every now and again you get this kind of random flurry of punches where he opens up, but Arkwright has got the skills and he knows what to do in that situation, how to defend himself, get himself just out of space, reset, and then go again. And then Atraka will just be back on that back foot and just soaking up the shots, and then every now and again he'll do exactly the same thing, and it's becoming a bit of a pattern developing here.
Yes, certainly. He's going 5 rounds up. Alright, 5 rounds up into the 6th and final round.
He'll be pleased to, if it goes the distance, to get the 6 rounds in. They'll all be valuable. Each round is a round that him and his team can sit down and watch back and pick up on the things they did well and the things they didn't do well, or the things to improve on. Well, here we go. This one scheduled for 6, and we go into the 6th and final round, where on our scorecards at ringside, Arkwright well and truly up, as we would expect him to be, in all honesty.
Yeah, he's 24 years of age. He's learning, on the job. It's his 6th professional outing tonight, and he's looking a lot better than against Jake Bray. As you've said before, Darren, yeah, he's picking the shots, boxing very smoothly. He's showing, good skills, good combinations.
One of the other things which he's good at, Lee, what I've noticed is he's good at just getting the correct distance away, and then he'll just throw a shot from a random angle. Like, he just threw a jab from like almost his waist, and it just comes up, and I think that catches Atraka off guard almost every time. But there was a big swing and a miss there. Yeah, for Belarus saw that one coming.
When you throw from unorthodox angles, it's not like the textbook. There's not a specific jab, a specific defence to do against it. You just could be on your guard. That was what the Brendan Ingles camp had so much success. All the Naz and Ryan Rhodes, they all threw from funny angles. Very difficult to defend.
Yeah, not textbook stuff, but Atraka did catch Arkwright there on the way that they come together, and the sweat bounced off of Arkwright's head and glimmered in the brightness of the light, so we know that he was caught with one. But it hasn't unsettled him. He's back to doing what he's been doing in the 5 previous rounds, nice and relaxed as he just moves round in that southpaw stance, popping that jab out, moving left and right, keeping the man from Belarus thinking.
Yeah, just popping and moving. Nice shots.
That popping and moving, that's just the kind of sort of stuff that you see, isn't it, when they're on the pads in the gym or in the bag. It's just ingrained into fighters, isn't it?
Yeah, they're putting the theory into practice. If you score a point and move, you 1-0 up. Score another point, you're 2-0 up. If you avoid getting it, you're staying in front. He's moving nicely now. He clearly knows he's won the fight. He's going to do nothing stupid. But boxing quite nicely. Good defence too.
Oh, he did get caught there by a lead right hook, and the man from Belarus just slips as he throws a lead hook. It most certainly wasn't a knockdown. I don't know if the crowd felt that from their angle it was, but that is the sound of the final bell, and we're extremely confident, like you will be at home, that Arkwright will move to 6-0.
Yeah, we've got that 60-54. Good performance, Darren.
A well-disciplined performance. A really, really well-disciplined performance, which, me saying it makes it sound so easy to just stay disciplined and stick to the game plan. And with my job of sitting here watching hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of fights, thousands of fights, you see people lose their cool and go a different direction, and you see the corners getting the right ump, which is understandable. But Arkwright's, I'm pretty sure he's done exactly what his team expected him to do, and that will pay off.
Totally agree. Couldn't have put it any better myself, Darren. Absolutely nailed it.
Yeah.
A great report for Boxing News.
Well, let's get the official decision from our MC, Mr. Steve Reed. Well, as expected, Sean Arkwright gets a decision there. A good performance, well-disciplined performance, and now he can go and do the fun bit, which is go and see his friends and his family and the people who have come to support him, and chill out and enjoy the rest of the evening. But he will join Don McGuinness in a moment after he's gone through and done all his pictures and all the other stuff. A big thanks to Mr. Lee Whitehead for joining me on comms, and apologies for those technical issues we had at the start. I'm now joined by Spencer Oliver. Spencer, first question, what did you make of that?
Yeah, brilliant performance there. I thought that he dominated really from the opening bell there, Arkwright. I mean, it was tough, it was competitive, but very, very good. A great learning experience for him at this stage of his career.
Very good. Well, he joins Don McGuinness now, so we'll catch a word of it.
Yeah, thanks, Darren. Well, the man himself, then Sean, you moved to 6-0 with a big smile on your face. Now, firstly, you look at this fellow coming over from Belarus, you look at his record, he's half and half, he's boxed everywhere all over the former Soviet Union, all over Europe. You just knew he was going to be tough. He was tough.
I had a little watch of him, and you know, I was seeing he could box, you know what I mean? He wasn't a typical journeyman, he had good shape, slipped, trying to look for counters, and then I felt a little bit flat the last couple of days. I had a bit of an issue with my weight, my own fault. I'm only young, and I just felt a little bit flat, like I never had the gears. So when I'm touching, trying to find the openings, I just felt like I couldn't get the right shots off. And as I say, he was dangerous, he was live, he was swinging back, and he caught me with one at the end, Lee Duke, and I thought, you know, first time being hit properly, and I thought, oh. So he was there to, you know, he's never boxed over here, and I think he come to put a show on, didn't he, and show what he was about. And credit to him, he was a very, very good kid. Definitely my hardest fight.
You mentioned that right hand that he caught you with in that last round, but that's what it's all about, isn't it? I mean, you want them to come and have a go like that.
Yeah, definitely. I think in my last two fights, I've been craving that. I've chased my opponents round, and I've been trying to get the stoppage, but I think I just didn't really have the gears today. I felt a little bit flat, so I thought just box and try and prize the opening from him. But he was cute, he was clever, so it was tough, scrappy, but got the 6-round win. Didn't lose the rounds again, so there's some positives and some negatives you can take.
Yeah, well, as you say, you're young, you moved to 6-0 now, and it's your first fight outside of Liverpool, so you brought a little bit of Merseyside with you to Blackpool. You've got a good little army there as well, haven't you?
I've got a good little fan base. I can only thank them all, because I fought 3 times in 3 months, and to keep coming back and paying £70 for the ticket, especially where we come from, it's good to them, and you know, I can only say thanks to them all.
I can see you still got a lot of energy. Go do some pads or something. Go on. I mean, you've done 6 rounds. Go and do a bit more. Sean, good man. Good man. Well, we'll get on with the action, because a very, very exciting fella who's based right here in Blackpool is next in the ring. That is Thomas Ferry. So we look forward to him. Let's get on then. Our MC, Mr. Steve Reed.
Well, here we go, bout number 3 of the evening. Thomas Very versus Lovepreet. Very in the pink and white shorts with the white boots and the pink and black gloves. Lovepreet from India in the black and orange shorts with the black boots, and Very, Spencer, straight on the front foot, establishing that jab in the early part of this round.
Yep, good confident start here from Very, taking centre of the ring, taking his time as well. Local lad, easy to get wrapped up in the occasion. Tremendous venue here at the Winter Gardens, but keeping his composure very, very well here. Very.
Here's he nice and relaxed as he just throws a couple of shots downstairs and upstairs, and then sinks in a shot just like he did with that big right hook to the body under the left elbow of Lovepreet.
Yeah,
very nice and fast with that head movement and that body movement.
Yep, just trying to create the openings here. Very taking his time, trying to set those traps. A lot of head movement, carrying that left hand down low, just trying to draw his opponent in. Lovepreet with a good start to his professional career, winning his first 5 fights at home as soon as he come here to England, lost his next 4, so looking to pick up his first victory on UK soil here. But lovely combination there from Very, started with that uppercut, drove the shots in very well as well. Good, confident start this from Very.
Very good, and as he just finished that, Spencer, he throws a decent right hand to the temple of Lovepreet, and those shots are pretty unforgiving. But what I'm liking about what Very's doing is he'll throw that and then he doesn't get carried away. Then he's back to his box and he's back relaxed. He's holding the centre of that ring and popping that jab out. And one of the things which he'd said in a recent interview was he felt that he's only 19 years old, but he really feels like he's starting to sit down on his shots now. And you can tell that from a few feet away, can't you?
You certainly can. Lovepreet under a lot of pressure here in the opening round. Left hook goes in from Very as well. Good solid jab followed up as well. This is a good start indeed from this young man, showing a lot of maturity for a guy that's only had 5 contests. Again, looking for those openings. You see him slipping from side to side. Lets the combination go, and Lovepreet in a bit of trouble there. Right hand landed.
The third time that he's been in trouble in this round. And Very just follows him around the ring and every so often unleashes a vicious and malicious right hand or left hook to the head. And he's caught him a couple of times with those. But I think one of the things you said, Spencer, about it being a mature performance has hit the nail on the head for me, because he really is doing everything very well and he's not getting carried away. But that amateur pedigree, Spencer, is really shining through. The way that he's distancing himself, the way that he's picking his shots, the way that he throws them and then he's straight out of there at the perfect time. It's got the amateurs written all over it, hasn't it?
Absolutely. Timing, execution is key. You know, with Very, he's just taking his time, finding the range with that jab. Throws the combinations to follow up as well. Good variety in there as well. Mixing the shots well to body and head, trying to set those traps. Lovepreet was on the back foot for most of that round, covering up, and you could see that Very was just sort of taking that away from him, you know, just taking the soul away from him a little bit in that first round, really. Lovepreet really struggled there.
Well, round 2, let's see what sort of pace Very kicks things off with. And he starts this round in a way that he started the last one, with establishing that jab and keeping a firm eye on his opponent at all times. He says that his sparring is always good because he trains with Andy ABROL at the Sharp Style Gym in Blackpool, and that is a place which is oozing talent. There's just sparring galore, and there's people at all levels and really talented people. And when you fight and you spar and you train with talented people, it just brings you on quicker, doesn't it?
Listen, success breeds success. That is a fact. This is a young man here, Thomas Very, looking to progress in his career. Good amateur career, 5-0 now as a professional, and started this one, his 6th contest, very, very well. Showing a great boxing IQ in there at the moment, just taking his time, picking his shots well, goes to the right hand to the body, turns that over the top as well. Impressive stuff there again from Very. Uppercut just misses, and the right hand goes in as well.
The body shots are the shots which are really hurting Lovepreet. There was a shot which Very threw a few moments ago, and the whole crowd went, ooh, because it was one of those, and you could really hear it sting. And I think if Lovepreet makes it all the way to the end of the 4th round, with the way that he's going at the moment, he's done well. And you just get a sense that Thomas Very is just starting to put his foot on the pedal a tiny bit as the round goes by, and he's just starting to put more and more shots together. And as he does that, Lovepreet looks like he's in more and more trouble.
Yep, accumulation of punches again there. Big right hand lands from Very, and you just feel that Lovepreet is just starting to come apart a little bit here. Left hook blocked to the body there from Lovepreet, but Very in complete control. Leads off with a right uppercut as well. Nice stuff, and you can just see now him oozing confidence in there, sizing him up with that jab, getting the distance. Right hand goes in as well. Good stuff there from Very.
Very has made sure that Lovepreet has run out of ideas early doors in this 4-round fight, and he looked like he was almost on his way down then as those 2 straight shots sunk in. Even though they both hit the gloves, they went through to his boots. And that was a good right hand which just felt short.
Well, Lovepreet just felt that one. You just see him rocking on the back of his heels there as that right hand landed. Very now pushing forward again. Combinations, just looking to slowly, systematically break him up here.
And Very starting to smell blood, but I don't think he'll have enough time to get rid of his man in this round. But another good round, another well-disciplined round. He was in full control, 100% control. There wasn't a moment which went by which he was losing that fight, Spencer.
No, another dominant round there from Thomas Very. Started it well. Took the centre of the ring, worked well behind that jab, and it was the combination punching that really started to get to Lovepreet. He started breaking him down with body shots, combinations of 4 and 5, and I think they pulled him out in the corner. Yep, they have pulled Lovepreet out here, and Thomas Very is going to get the victory before the start of the 3rd round. Probably the right decision, if I'm totally honest, from the corner, because Lovepreet was under a lot of pressure.
He was, and I think it's worth saying, out of the 9 fights which Lovepreet's had, he's had more wins than he's had losses. And he just wasn't winning a moment of either of those rounds. He was getting caught with so many shots, and those body shots were really, really fierce, and they would have hurt. And I think that's exactly the right thing that the corner have done there, because we hear it all the time, don't we, Spence, that it's one thing having a brave fighter, but what's more dangerous than a brave fighter is a brave corner, isn't it?
Absolutely good corner work there, because I think Lovepreet recognised that he was out of his depth. Thomas Very is a good fighter on his way up, developing very, very well. And as those rounds were wearing on, you could see him growing in confidence, oozing confidence, started setting the traps, and Lovepreet had no answer for that. So right decision there by the corner on pulling him out.
Well, let's get the official announcement from our MC, Steve Reed. Well, lots of support here for Thomas Very, and they would have loved every moment of that and enjoyed watching it and being with him on every step of his career, because you never know where these careers will go, and we hope that they'll go all the way. And a fighter as talented as Thomas Very, he's got the ability to do so. But he joins Tom McGuinness now, so we'll catch a word of him.
Well, Thomas, congratulations. That was an excellent stoppage. You moved to 6-0 now, but 2 inside the distance now. Again, this kid here, Lovepreet, he came with a good record as well. Talk us through that.
Yeah, he came with a winning record. Obviously, he was national champion of India or whatever.
So I knew it wasn't going to be a pushover. So I had like assert dominance from the start type thing, and turns out it worked. It was just a bit too much for me. Retired in his corner.
I think obviously had there been any more time in the second round anyway, at the end of that, the way you caught it at the end, it would have been over anyway. So I think the corner was right to pull him out. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I'd agree. Yeah, I caught him just like last 30 seconds of the whatever it was, the second, and just couldn't clip him with that last finishing shot. Just got saved by the bell, but oh well, it is what it is. It's another stoppage.
Now, I spoke to Brad after his fight. He got a second round stoppage. Your opponent's retired after the second round. He said there's pressure on all you boys in Andy Abrol's sharp style gym that you've got to get the job done, and you're all in competition all the time. You're now putting pressure on the rest still to come because you've still got 3 more of your mates to fight tonight.
Yeah, big lose on next, the heavyweight. So he's got a bit of pressure now. I know Brad got the ball rolling. I had to follow up, get the job done. So it's all on Lou now, the next up.
Just tell us, you wear the initials F and V on the back of your shorts. You wear the pink colours. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, FV, it's my cousin Frank, who died about 3 years ago now. So he was probably the best boxer to come out of sharp style. I've trained with him all my life. And obviously it was sad what happened to him and stuff. So just do this just to keep his memory going.
Well, you did a very good job, and you did that tonight, and onwards and upwards for you now. So well done tonight. Very, very good performance. We look forward to seeing your gym mates trying to better you and Brad tonight.
Yeah, hopefully we can get the first round stoppages now.
We'll see. Good man. You can go and get sorted out now. Thanks, Thomas. All the best. I'm going to bring in now Spencer Oliver. Again, Spencer, you've had a look now. We've seen a bit of everything already tonight. We've still got plenty more fights to come, of course, here at the magnificent Winter Gardens here in Blackpool. But Thomas Ferry, new is an exciting talent. He's gone about the business against a fella that's come here with a winning record. How impressed were you?
Yeah, listen, that was a great performance. I mean, this is a 19-year-old kid we're talking about, boxing in his hometown, and trust me when I say this, there's a lot of pressure on your shoulders for a young man of that age. I've done that myself, and you know, to not get carried away with the crowd and not to sort of like go with it, keep control, showed a lot of maturity in there, you know, working behind the jabs, setting the traps the way that he did. Was very, very impressed with that. We've got to remember, Dom, like I say, this kid has an immense talent, that is for sure. Great amateur pedigree, but it's easy to run away with it here. You're in a great setting, you know, for him growing up in Blackpool, Winter Gardens, this is the place. Do you know what I mean? This is the place. So to be actually boxing on a venue here, it's easy to run away with a crowd and whatnot, but kept his composure well.
Yeah, he did. And what's interesting as well is this competition they've got in the Sharp Style gym here in Blackpool. Andy ABROL, the head coach, busy man tonight, 5 fighters out. Brad Ray, who of course we saw in action, opened the show tonight, and Thomas Ferry, they've both now got early knockouts. The pressure's really on the big heavyweight that we're going to see next, Lewis Wright. And it's heavyweight season, Spencer. It really is. I mean, obviously we're here in Blackpool tonight and we're going to see, and this is what's so good about these shows, we see the guys coming through, the young fellas that we're going to see on the big shows in a few years' time. But of course, there's so much action to come, isn't there, the big heavyweights?
Absolutely. Listen, this is the grassroots. This is where it all starts. I remember a kid, actually, a big heavyweight from here, Matthews, who used to box from here many years ago. He boxed on the England course with me, and it was a big thing for him turning professional. Boxing's not been big here in Blackpool for a while. We had Brian Rose. Brian Rose was the most recent one, but big time boxing coming back here is important for the city, you know, and like you say, all these fighters on here, heavyweights at the moment with what's going on, Anthony Joshua, Daniel Dubois, September the 21st, talkSPORT, all over that, by the way, as well. But I mean, yeah, we've got the rights to that as well, so that's going to be massive. So the young heavyweights want to make an impression, and this kid is going to go out there and try and do that. He's in with an opponent, it's very durable, very tough, doesn't get stopped much, so it'll be interesting to see how he handles that and handles the occasion.
You mentioned obviously talkSPORT all over the big heavyweight contests, and of course for people watching either on the VIP stream, you're very welcome, or the talkSPORT boxing channel, of course, on YouTube. But just I want your little opinion, an early opinion if you like, on that big one, AJ Dubois, because you know everybody's talking about it. We love to see the young guys, as I say, coming through, but that's going to be a massive focal point soon. How do you see it?
Listen, what you got to respect with Daniel Dubois is obviously he's coming off those good wins against Jarrell Miller. Since the Alexander Usyk loss, Jarrell Miller and Filip Hrgovic last time out, they're confidence builders, they're confidence boosters. For me, Alexander Usyk was the moulding of Daniel Dubois, and what people do forget is this kid is 26, just turned 27. Happy birthday, Daniel Dubois. I know you're watching this show, I'm sure you're watching it. And yeah, he's just turned 27 years of age. He's up for it. He's young, he's hungry, and he's up for it. The momentum's with him. But Anthony Joshua is at a different level, was at a different level. And it's been a roller coaster for him. He's had his ups, he's had his downs, but that's character building on how you come back from that. And for me, Anthony Joshua, you know, teaming up with Ben Davison, the team he's got around him, Moses Itoma and all the other guys around him, I think is really good for his confidence, and his mindset is in the right place. Psychologically, he's good. He's going to be tough to beat, AJ. Heavyweight boxing, anything can happen. Daniel is heavy-handed, but you have to go for AJ. You have to go for AJ in that one. Momentum's with him, and he seems to be in the right place.
And just as you touched upon him, because I just think he's an absolute superstar in the making. Moses Itomo, by the way. How good is he going to be?
We had him in the studio, 10-0 now. What is he? 10-0, 8 KOs. Beat Marius Wack last time out. Any of you guys that have not heard of Moses Itoma, go on YouTube, check this kid out. He is going to be, mark my words on this one, he is going to be Britain's next superstar heavyweight boxer, without a doubt. Once we've got this little lot out of the way, Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, you know, Daniel Dubois is still going to be there or thereabouts, but Moses Itoma, for me, world champion in the making for sure.
Well, as you say, though, as well, that's why we're here. It's an opportunity for all these young lads to try and get in this mix. That's why we're so excited about seeing Lewis Wright. Still to come, of course, as well, here in the magnificent Winter Gardens. We've got Jake ABROL, local lad, topping the bill tonight. He's had loads of things to deal with in the build-up to this. But what do you want to see? When you see one of these young prospects in against stubborn away fighters, what do you want to see?
It's quite simple. I want to see creativity. So what I'm saying is, yeah, they're stubborn and they know how to survive. So how do you get rid of those guys? The special ones set the traps. They create the openings. You know what I mean? And that is when you know you've got a special fighter on your hands. Moses Itoma done it last time out when we talk about that. Marius Wack, who just recently took Fraser Clark the distance at York Hall, you know, made a year prior to that or whatever, known as a tough, durable journeyman. Moses Itoma opened him up, set the traps and stops him in 2 rounds. That's when you know you've got a special talent. So stubborn journeymen are there for a reason, but the superstars, they find the openings.
Let's see if we're going to see another one. Let's see what Big Lou can do. Here's our MC, Mr. Steve Reed.
Well, here we go. Here comes our first genuine heavyweight contest of the evening, our fourth bout of the evening, here at the Winter Gardens in Blackpool. Lewis Wright, the lad from Blackpool, good support here. He stands at 6'6", Spencer.
Yep, tall guy, very well built, isn't he? Did you see the ring walk there, by the way? Reminded me of a Mike Tyson sort of ring walk there. Comes in, black boots, black shorts, strolls straight into the ring. Looks like he wants to get down to business and takes the centre of the ring here. Working well behind that jab. And just trying to set up for that right hand, you feel.
Yeah, no mucking about, straight to business, and looks like he's got a good shape to him, good form already. Doing the foundations well as he just tries to hold the centre of the ring there, as he just throws that jab and it tries to establish it. And with these heavyweights, those big straight right hands can come out of nowhere.
Yep, that's the key shot for the heavyweights. Shavarkal is there defensively, looks quite solid, carries his hands nice and high, looks quite difficult to hit. So now Lewis Wright just needs to create those openings. Creativity is key here.
And Shavarkal is pretty quick for a big fella on that back foot, because as Wright just tries to set up a few shots, he knows exactly when to get out of there. And Wright's going to have to get his timing spot on, I think, to land something significant.
Well, the timing comes off that jab. You just find the range with that jab and then you step in, let that right hand go. The jab is key to setting up every shot in the book, especially for someone like Lewis Wright, who's very tall, very rangy. So just needs to use that height and reach to his advantages here. Keep it long, work the jab well. You don't want to get inside here with Shavarkal, because he will tie you up. He knows how to survive. He's been around a long time, been in with some good fighters, been the distance with some good fighters as well.
Yes, indeed. He's been a distance to the likes of Callum Johnson and Tommy Fletcher, who trains with Mark Tibbs. Two very good fighters, so we know that he can go the distance, he can do the rounds. We know that he can survive, but he just got caught with a right uppercut there on the right hand side of our commentary position, and he gave Lewis Wright a little bit of a nod to say, yep, you caught me with that one, fair enough.
Yep, Lewis Wright set that one up with the left hook. The right hand went through as well. Lovely little two-punch combination, and again Lewis Wright just pinning Shavarkal into the corner. He's taking him from corner to corner here, as you can see. His presence there is definitely working in this first round.
A good opener there for Lewis Wright. He has got a decent amateur background. He had a break for a short while, but he said he was always training. Even though he went over to Ibiza for a while, he was still training, he was still in the gym, and he took up and did a bit of Muay Thai and all that kind of stuff. So he's always kept his hand on it, and since he's been back down as a pro at Andy ABROL's gym at Sharp Style, he's really been enjoying his boxing and just very keen to be active and just to be in there as often as he possibly can, making sure that ring rust doesn't build up and doing his thing.
Yeah, activity is key, especially with these heavyweights. It's all about the development stage, the apprenticeship stage in many ways here. You know, he's been having his sixth contest, he's 5-0 now with the 3 KOs. He'll be glad he's got that first round out the way. He stayed nice and composed there in front of his home crowd, didn't get carried away, didn't do anything silly. Shavarkal, he knows his experience, and he will make you pay if you make a little fundamental mistake. So, done the right thing working off the jab there. Now let's see if he can build on that. Let's see if he can step it up just a little bit more.
The referee just having a chat with Shavarkal there, and he will bring the fighters back to the middle to get back to the action, because that's what people have come to see, and both of them won't want to be standing around not doing a lot, as Lewis Wright is straight back on that front foot, just trying to gauge that distance with that jab and get one of those big heavy shots off if he can.
Yep, like I say, he needs a little bit more creativity here though. Just the double jab in the right hand may not work. He landed the right hand there though, just forced his opponent Shavarkal back to the ropes just to regroup, regather himself, and he seems to have done that. Shavarkal, very experienced guy, as I say, knows his way around the ring. Nice double jab there from Shavarkal, and then just ties his opponent up, and just making life difficult in there for Lewis Wright, who's in control of this one, but not really getting through with the shots that he'd like.
It'd be good to see a little bit more variety from Lewis Wright, because he is throwing that double jab right hand a lot, and when he threw a right hook to the body, you could see that Shavarkal felt it and was on the back foot a little bit. So a little bit more variety might do him good. But he has Shavarkal on the ropes and has got him covering up, and he's not just covering up and showing the body language just for defensive reasons. We can see that those shots, when they are getting through, they are hurting him. And Wright looking to just take that centre of the ring again as he tries to control the distance and he controls the pace of the fight. But almost every time he throws 2 or 3 shots, Spencer, Shavarkal ties him up and the referee has to get involved. So it's not the cleanest of fights so far.
No, good experience from Shavarkal. Just learning to tie his opponent up the way that he does shows he knows the fundamentals, knows his way around the ring. Good, solid journeyman, gives these prospects something to think about. And when someone like Lewis Wright looks back on this contest, wherever he goes in his career, one thing he'll remember is what he learned in this contest against someone like Shavarkal, who knows all the tricks of the trade, knows how to survive more importantly, and is doing a good job here in this contest of surviving.
Lewis Wright just measuring his man up, throwing a couple of feints, trying to get Shavarkal to do the things that he needs him to do, to land them eye-catching shots, which are the shots which the referee will score him the round for. But saying that, he really is, on our scorecards at ringside, well and truly in full control. But Spencer, if you're Andy ABROL, you're in the corner, he comes back, what sort of advice and information are you going to give him, and what do you want to see a bit more of?
Listen, I like I say, I want him to see him being a little bit more creative. I want to see him going through the gears a little bit. You know, like setting those traps, feinting the jabs downstairs, throwing that right hand, and then come again. Let's see something else. Let's see the left hook right hand again, then go again, phase 2. Because that's how you're going to get someone like Shavarkal out of there. The double jab cross is not going to work because he's closing his own space down, getting too close. Shavarkal is then tying him up. What he needs to do is hold his feet after he lands that jab, hold his feet, after that right hand comes, go again. Let's see an injection of pace. That's how you get rid of someone like Shavarkal.
Well, you heard it there from Spencer, and I'm sure there'll be some very similar information coming from the home corner, the red corner here at the Blackpool Winter Gardens. If you're just joining us on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel, welcome along. My name's Darren Rees and I'm joined by Spencer Oliver, and we are watching Lewis Wright versus Victor Shavarkal, a heavyweight contest, one which seems to see Lewis Wright going through the motions, winning the rounds comfortably. But Spencer would be quite keen to see a little bit more variety from him and maybe a little bit more going through the gears.
Yep, a little injection of pace now. This is a 6-round contest. We're now in that 3rd round, and you just want to see him now starting to turn the screw just a little bit. Yes, he's in complete control of the fight. Of course he is. He's dominating well behind the jab, landing those right hands. But I want to see something that makes me remember. I want to see something a little more eye-catching.
Is there a danger, Spencer, that when a fighter is doing something like throwing a double jab cross like Lewis Wright is, just because it's working, like continuing to do that, is there a danger in that because of the opponent reading it?
Well, no, yeah, listen, someone like Shavarkal, he's very experienced, so he will read that. He's reading that. He's just riding the right hand. Watch when the double jab right goes. He just leans over to his own right side and takes the play away, takes the power away from that right hand. So that's how he's dealing with it right now. That's what I say. So now, feint the jab, throw the left hook, right hand, left hook. You know, that's what I want to see now. I need to see something a little different.
Well, right back to the centre of the ring and using that range and that 6'6" frame and those straight shots to keep his man at bay. But every time he does try something,
lovely left hook
gets
went
tied
in there.
up, but that was a good left hook.
Yep, just sent the sweat spray in there from Shavarkal's head. That was what he needed, and now let's build on that. Again, the left hook, right hand goes in, right hand just round the side of the head there, though didn't quite land cleanly, but that's better stuff there from Lewis Wright.
It seemed as soon as you said it, he did it. A bit of commentator's curse, but you've been calling for that left hook. He threw it, and it landed nicely, and it's just seeing those shots to follow up with. But that was a good right hand which got through and hit the face of Shavarkal, and Lewis Wright seems to be putting his foot on the pedal a tiny bit more. It's not bundles more, it's not loads more, but there's a little bit of a percentage increase, and the outcome is that he's getting through with more shots.
Yep, that little percentage increase is more eye-catching, isn't it? Like you say, he just seems to turn the screw a little bit there in that last 30, 45 seconds or so of that third round, and it was better. You know, he was showing a little bit more variety. He was throwing the jab, feinting the jab, coming with the hooks, right crosses, and even throwing the left uppercuts after as well, which is more impressive stuff now. I need to see him build on that now just a little bit more. Let's go on top of that last 30 seconds. He's in against a tough guy in Shavarkal here. You know, anyone that knows Callum Johnson will know that he was a very, very tough light heavyweight who retired for a little while, come back as a cruiserweight. Trust me, that kid's strong, and Shavarkal went 4 rounds with him, or survived the 4-round distance with him, lost on points. And that tells you where Shavarkal's sat right now. He's a tough guy, stubborn guy to get rid of. So if Lewis Wright can do it inside the distance, he's going to be making a statement. And that's why I want to see him just doing a little bit more now.
Yeah, let's not forget that Callum Johnson was, I think, the first person to put Beterbiev on his backside when he fought him, and us British boxing people and fans thought he might do it that night. But let's see if Lewis Wright can put Shavarkal on his backside, stick him on the canvas, give him a confidence boost, lift the crowd up. I think it's going to be tough because Shavarkal knows exactly what he's doing. He knows every single trick in the book from what it seems, and he's not letting Lewis Wright get those shots off.
No, he's still very competitive in this one, Shavarkal. I mean, he's in survival mode, but he's throwing the shots back and making life difficult for Lewis Wright, as expected. Right, again, double jab, just misses with that right hand.
Right, just having a good look at Shavarkal as he just follows him around the ring. Probably thinking of, what can I get him with? Where are those very small gaps? What is he doing? How can I punish him for it? And he did catch him as he fell in there with a left hook. But once again, Shavarkal grabs hold of Wright, and the referee has had a bit of a busier fight than some of the previous fights this evening. There was a fight earlier which Steve Gray literally didn't have to do anything apart from hold the winner's hand up.
Right, just falling short there. See what he was trying to do, set that trap with the jab and let the right hand go over the top. Didn't quite pay off that time. Lovely right uppercut on the inside as well there, and it just smothers his own work there. Right. Yeah, beat Darren, you just sense that this one has 6 rounds written all over it. Shafarkal's very experienced, very tough, knows his way around the ring, and Lewis Wright just seems to be running out of a little bit of ideas here on how to get rid of this stubborn opponent.
You're right, Spencer, and I guess this is the sort of fight that if it does go to full 6 rounds, that it's only after, when you watch it back, that you'll see those things that you maybe could have done a little bit better or could have done a little bit more of. And that's why these types of fights are valuable, because even when he is coming through and he's chucking a lot of energy into these shots, they're not as effective as they could be, and some of that is possibly to do with Wright, but a lot of it is to do with the movement and the way that Shafarkal is riding the shots.
Ten-second clacker goes there as we approach the end of the 5th round here. Lovely left hook there. That was a good shot that just forced Shafarkal back there. Best shot of the contest, I would say. Just as I was going to wrap the round up there, Darren, Lewis Wright does or gets what was needed there, and that was an injection of pace. Little short left hook that just sent the sweat spraying there from Shafarkal.
Just came at the wrong time in the round though, didn't it? Because if you land a shot like that as a fighter, and I'm speaking to you as a former fighter and a former European champion, you land that kind of shot 30 seconds into the round, you've got time to work on it, haven't you? You've got time to do it again or follow up on it.
Absolutely.
Last few seconds, it's a bit frustrating.
Absolutely, listen, not frustrating because he now needs to go out there and build on that now. He's going into this 6th and final round. Time to impress the home crowd here. You know, he's a Blackpool favourite down here. Now time to put on a little show for the fans in this fantastic arena. The Winter Gardens really is an historic building, and let's see if he can put on a historic performance, a historic round here.
Let's hope so. One thing I've realised about being in Blackpool, my first time in Blackpool, is they are a lively bunch, aren't they? It's just a great city full of energy, isn't it?
It certainly is, mate. I've got to tell you, walking down to this venue, our hotel's only, I don't know, 100 metres away, but walking down here is, yeah, all sorts going on out there. Very, very lively, and we've got a good crowd in here this evening as well. And you just want to see now grandstand finish from the local fighter, Lewis Wright. Can he do that in this 6th round?
That's it, because if Wright can land that shot and finish this contest, then the other stuff doesn't matter as much, and he probably won't be as frustrated. Don't get it twisted, he's not had a bad performance at all, but there's plenty more he could have done, and I think he'll agree with that when he watches this back and he listens to us. But let's see if he can find that shot from somewhere. The Shafarkal just continuing to do exactly what he's been doing the few previous rounds, which is just going around, changing direction, hands up, just keeping out of space and making sure that he's out of danger. But the odd shot is getting through from Lewis Wright, like that one.
Yep, just a little bit too one pace for me though, Lewis Wright. I think that he sort of seemed to run out of ideas a little bit. You know, I think when he goes back to the gym or he watches this, yep, he will feel slightly frustrated with his own performance, because he'll say he feel like he could have done more. And this is, like I say, it's the apprenticeship for these young fighters. It's about learning, going away, working on the mistakes, working on what you didn't do, what you done wrong. We can talk about the good stuff, but he's not here to talk about that. It's about working on the stuff that maybe needs working on to bring out those better performances. And he's going to have to go back to the gym and work on that.
But Wright just lands a decent left jab to the head of Shafarkal, which snapped his head back, but then his back nice and relaxed and throwing his shots out there. A lot of blood coming from the nose of Wright.
Yep, just seems
may well have a broken nose.
Seems to be bleeding heavily, doesn't it? I don't know whether that was a punch or a clash of heads or what. I didn't really see any sort of shot going in there that could have put that sort of damage on his face. Big right hand goes as the 10-second clacker goes as well. Shavarkal takes that shot well, goes back to the corner, and let's just take a look here. See if we can see the damage there, Darren, to that nose.
It's a bit challenging from our commentary position, but it looks like he's struggling to breathe through that nose. But going back to a comment which you made a little bit earlier on, Spencer, about watching or having like a frustrating fight, or going back and watching it. What's it like? You must have had fights like that where you come out and you just thought, why couldn't I land this, or why couldn't I do that? Did you have those moments in your career, and sort of what goes through your mind as a fighter?
Yeah, listen, I think that these nights are all, they're there to develop you into the fight that you need to become a champion. You're going to have these frustrating nights against these tricky opponents. You know, going in now, say, like I said, the last round was a lot. I thought the last round was the 6th round. Actually, we're going into the 6th round now. My apologies for that. So he's got a chance again here to showcase his skills. To, you know, see if he can set this place alight in this 6th and final round. But yeah, it's all about the development stage. It's all about the learning curve right now, and he's going to learn a lot from this. You know, I think there's no doubt he's won this contest. He's been in total control of it, but just maybe a little bit frustrated with himself on the fact that he maybe hasn't been as creative as he should have been. I think that the kid's got a lot of talent. You can see that the fundamentals are there, the foundations are there. That is for sure. And he just needs to build on that now. This is all about the learning curve, like I say. A win's a win. He's certainly going to get the win here, but it's how he does it.
Full of confidence is Lewis Wright, and you can tell that by his body language. His hands are extremely low through the majority of this, and he landed a decent jab there. And he's obviously feeling very relaxed as he just tries to cruise to the final bell and get another victory on his record and take himself to 6-0. That double jab cross, which we've seen over and over again from Lewis Wright, just misses there. And by no means has this been a fight which has been electric or set the place alight as with entertainment. We're not going to say that for 1 minute.
No, it's been frustrating nights in many ways, because you know how much talent Lewis Wright has got, and we just haven't seen that tonight, and that's taking nothing away from Shavarkal, who's made a decent contest of it. He's come and done his job tonight, because his job was always it's not about winning for him, it was about making life very, very difficult for Lewis Wright, and he's done that. So it's a moral victory for him, and I think for Lewis Wright, boxing in front of his home crowd, they've been quite quiet in here. It's not going to be one of those fights that you're going to really remember, but listen, it's another win on his record, and he can go away and build on that.
And forgive me for the pun, Spencer, but it does take two to tango, and we are in a place which ballroom dancing is the Strictly Come Dancing finals are in, and his dancing partner tonight hasn't exactly made this exciting himself, has he? So by no means am I putting 100% of the blame on him, because I think he's done some good work, but it just has been a bit of a dull contest. But this round, at the end of this round, is going the way which the crowd wanted the previous rounds to go in, which is nice to see.
Shavarkal come back with some good work of his own there as well, landed a couple of shots, big right hand went in, and I tell you what,
and he's in trouble, I think. Lewis Wright, he got caught with 2 or 3, and he did look like he was in the danger zone for just a few seconds.
Yep.
And he's probably quite lucky that happened right at the end of the round.
Yeah, he got tagged with a few there, didn't he? Left himself open. Lapse of concentration there from Lewis Wright with about 15 seconds to go, and got caught with some silly shots at the end. But listen, overall, yeah, good performance, nothing spectacular if I'm totally honest. A lot to work on. You can clearly see the kid's got talent, but he's going to have to go back to the drawing board, because there's a good crop of young heavyweights coming through right now, and they won't be losing sleep over that performance from Lewis Wright. But as I say, a win's a win, and it's all about going back to the drawing board and building on that, and I think that fighters like Lewis can definitely put their name in the mix with this good young crop of heavyweights that are out there right now. I'm just looking forward to seeing him develop as a heavyweight.
Absolutely. Well, let's get the official announcement and let's find out who the winner is with our MC, Steve Reed. Well, as predicted, Lewis Wright gets the decision, but he'll just make the short walk over to Dom McGuinness, but he's just taken a seat. I think he wants to get his gloves taken off before he joins Dom. One of the things which I noticed is the body language when he finished that fight. Before the announcement was made that he'd won, I think he knew that he'd won it. But he walked back to his corner and he kind of shook his head and slumped over the ropes, and the body language kind of said it all. I think he felt what he felt about his performance in the same kind of way that we did.
Listen, we can't big the performance up because, like, you look at it and you go, look, yeah, he done well, he got the victory, but it's going to be a fight that he wants to forget quite quickly, if I'm totally honest. It was a frustrating night for him. He couldn't get the rhythm going, couldn't get off with the shots, and you can see that on his face, maybe, that it was one of those just didn't go his way tonight. Like, in many ways, he couldn't find that timing, couldn't find that rhythm.
Absolutely. Well, he joins Dom McGuinness, so we'll join him for a chat now.
Thanks, Darren. Yes, the man himself, Lewis. You moved to 6-0.
Yeah.
Before we get into the nuts and bolts of that, what happened there in the final round? Because it just looked like you got caught just at the end there.
No, nothing that affected me, like, they wobble me or nothing like that. He just obviously, for the fight, he was going at a certain pace. Fair play him. Caught me, but like I say, nothing that were going to put me down or nothing like that. He came and brought it, so I met fire with fire, man.
Yeah, he's a stubborn campaigner anyway. We've seen him go the distance with the likes of Callum Johnson, so he's got a little bit of pedigree. It's about progressing at your stage, isn't it? Yeah. Just getting those wins under your belt. And do you feel you felt good in there for the most part?
Definitely, anyway? Definitely. I had a 4-rounder last time, and going about it the wrong way, jumping about like I still weighed out 90 kilo, you know what I mean? Trying to box out some sort of Cuban, but yeah, this time I felt a lot calmer, and I hope my performance showed that. I'm just trying to improve each time, and as long as my coach is happy, I'm happy, and he said he was happy with the performance, so good, man. Good going to the future.
If Andy ABROL's happy, everybody's happy.
100%.
I tell you what I like about your gym though as well, there's a lot of competition.
Yeah.
We've seen Thomas, obviously, we've seen Brad, and there's still more to come. There's Jake, there's Levi. And again, this is your home, isn't it?
It is.
Magnificent Winter Gardens,
yeah.
Blackpool, it's got to become that busy hub of boxing again, and that's what you're all trying to do in that gym, isn't it?
Yeah, without a doubt. The gym, we're very well known amongst the amateur scene. Not with myself, but with the boys. I was only in there briefly amateur, but these boys, you've got a world medalist in there, you've got European medalists, all absolutely mustard, and even though they're younger than me in the gym, it is our flat, you look up to that sort of skill, do you know what I mean? So being around that sort of people in my classes and that, makes me very confident for the future. The fact that I'm in there with them, perfect.
And it's we were talking before, it's heavyweight season as well, isn't it? Yeah. You know, when you see the likes of Dubois and AJ soon, obviously Tyson Fury's not too far from here.
Yeah.
Does that give you a massive lift and a massive push when 100%. You think this is where UK, they own the heavyweight division?
They do. And I think just even for casual fans, they love heavyweight. They love heavyweights. Everyone likes seeing big men going at it. Pause. But the fact of going through it and everything like that, and I do feel like for an heavyweight, I'm not, I don't move like a lot of them. As powerful as they are, quite stiff. Yeah, you know what I mean? So that's something I hope I can keep bringing to the table and use to my advantage.
Yeah, I mean, size-wise, looking at your frame and everything, you're very tall, obviously, but not you look like a cruiserweight or even a light heavy in terms of the way that you carry your weight, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's all good. A few more calf raises and we're there, you know what I mean? But no, definitely, but where some may see it as a disadvantage, I see it as an advantage.
Yeah.
And if a coach is going to make me do it, then it's Andy ABROL, you know what I mean?
Right, well,
he's, like I say, different calibre. Just watch the boys, you know what I mean?
What we're going to see from Levi, what we're going to see from Jake?
Two outstanding performances. Levi, world of his own. You can't ever tell me someone boxes like Levi. And jabs, especially at this new weight. Whether it's tonight, whether it's next time, whenever. If he gets going in this new weight, I'm expecting people to hit in the deck, 100%.
We look forward to that.
100%.
Listen, you've done the business tonight. Well
Cheers,
done, Lewis.
man. Thank you
I'll
very
take out
much.
my coffee as well. Good
Appreciate
man.
that, man. Thank you.
See you soon. I'll bring in Spencer Oliver. Former European Super Bantamweight. We'll bring Woody back in as well. Steve Wood, obviously the promoter. He's going to walk across the camera. Come on, Steve. You're not new to this. Come on, man.
Listen, Dom's pinched my spot when he was over there before, so blame him, don't be blaming me.
Right, we'll ask you first anyway. Lewis, impressed?
Do you know what? I wasn't as impressed as I expected, I've been being perfectly honest, because he didn't seem to get his shots off tonight. He threw a few, but they weren't landing cleanly, and obviously at the end he got caught, which you're going to caught in heavyweight boxing. If you do get hit, you're going to feel it, and he did. But you know, the good thing for me is he got 6 rounds out, because he's stepping up into the central area, which is 10 rounds next. So to get a good 6 rounds out was good. He'll do him no harm whatsoever. He can fight a lot better than that.
So is that the plan?
Yeah, the plan is November. He's fighting for the central area title, and as I say, he's a lot better than he's shown tonight. He did throw some nice shots, but he just didn't get through. And sometimes you've got to give credit to the opponent as well. You know, what I mean, they don't want to stand and be hit by a 6'7" heavyweight, do they? And he's just been the distance with Callum Johnson as well. So you know, he is a tough kid.
Yeah, he's a tough opponent. It was always going to be tough for Lewis to get him out of there, that was for sure, and it was all about creativity and whether he could do that. You know, Callum Johnson is a great yardstick. Forget that he was a light heavyweight, now campaigning as a cruiserweight. That kid's strong, he's got experience, he had better BF on the seat of his pants, you know, so that gives you a yardstick on where he's at there. But Falcao, he was a very tough opponent, very stubborn opponent, and I think for Lewis Wright, I think that he will look at this fight, he'll go back on that one, and the 6 rounds are going to be priceless for him going into a central area title fight, taking all the positives away from it. I think when you're looking at the negatives, you go, yep, a little bit one-dimensional, working everything behind the jab, seems to run out of ideas at times there. Again, it's something he can go back to the gym and work on. We got to remember, he's having his 6th fight here, guys. Like we talk about him, you know, like he's a seasoned pro. This is very much the apprenticeship stage. You come up against tough, stubborn opponents like that, durable journeymen that make it awkward, make it frustrating for you. Timing, they just take that half a step back. Timing's just not quite there. And it didn't really work for him tonight, Lewis Wright. He's pleased that, he said the team are pleased that he's got the victory, but he'll go back and he'll look at that and, you know, there'll be frustrations there for sure, but it's how you build on that makes you the fighter. You know, he's at the beginning of his career at the moment, so there's a lot of positives to take as well.
You look at, you know, he's a very athletic heavyweight. We were talking about it before. You know, he's got that tall, very, as I say, very fit, very lean physique, very, very mobile. And Spencer was talking about it being heavyweight season, and it is massive for these lads to see where they can go, where the elite of the division is at the moment. Dubois and AJ, obviously, Tyson Fury, Justin Rogan, Morgan. It's a massive push for them, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is, and it's life-changing money as an heavyweight. You just need one fight, and you're done for life, as long as it's the right fight. And I suppose, you know, take what Spencer said, it's only his 6th pro fight. I think he only had 9 amateur fights, so it wasn't a seasoned amateur who's turning over. He can rush, and you know, to navigate it to that top. It's not easy, and you know, it's something that we've got to look at and be very careful, because one wrong fight, you're on the game of snakes and ladders, and you're right down the ladder.
And what you've got to remember, Steve, is you know, you've got a current crop of young heavyweights that are coming through at the moment. You've got them ones at the twilight of their career now, when you're looking at your Tyson Furies and your Alexander Usyks, you know, and the fighters of that sort of magnitude. They're not going to be around in another couple of years, and it's about the young ones that are coming through and all that. And there is a good young crop of heavyweights coming through. So it's all about, I think Steve's right in what he says, it's all about navigating him the right way, letting him learn that experience, build the record, learn the craft. When you've only had 9 amateur fights and 6 pro fights, some of these kids have been around boxing since they were 7, 8 years of age. You know, so timing is so important.
Yeah, it is. And just moving on to what we're going to see next, because Lewis Wright says there isn't anybody that boxes like Levi Barnes. That's some statement to make, very exciting, only a kid at 20 as well. He's got an opponent in soft touch that we've seen on these shows before. How excited are you by this lad?
Do you know what? Levi Barnes is turning out to be one of the most exciting prospects in the country. Everyone knew what he did at the amateurs. He was a bronze medalist in the world, which is some great achievement. He's fast, he's quick. He's now matured a little bit. He's had a couple of stoppages which you would never see in the early part of his career. But a bit like Tom Spera, you know, very, very good amateurs. You've got to learn the craft as Spencer was saying there, and he's learning it very quick, and he's starting to put a little bit of meat onto his shot. But as he said, the style, it is unique, you know, switch it and moves. Hands aren't really high, which I like in the box. I like to see tight hands, but you know, he's got lateral movement as well as the hand speed. So I think who's watching here is going to be intrigued, because Softers is like a brick wall, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, we're going to find out, aren't we? Because next it is Levi Barnes against Softers. So on with the action. Here is our MC for the night, Mr. Steve Reed. Plenty on that, and that's it.
Got 6 3-minute rounds. Levi Barnes has always impressed me when I've had the pleasure of commentating on his fights or being a spectator and watching him. And the last time we saw him, Spencer, he demolished that Richard Helm in the 3rd round. He was a tough away corner fighter. And he reminds me a bit of a Cuban, the way that he fights.
Yeah, very classy boxer, switches from orthodox to southpaw, currently boxing out the southpaw stance at the moment, but yeah, great selection, shot selection. Sorry, there we see him switching orthodox now, and he's going to make it very difficult for his opponent tonight, that's for sure. Whips in a lovely body shot there, goes underneath the elbow of his opponent there, great little shot.
He would indeed. His opponent is the man from Ukraine, Mikhailo Sovtas, who's now based out of London. And he seems to have a bit of a style where he's got his head down and just kind of walks forward, and he could be punished quite badly by Levi Barnes for this, because he's a fighter with a good pedigree. He knows exactly what he's doing, he knows what to throw and when to throw it, and he's already in the opening round worked his distance and his timing out.
Yeah, that's what he does. He's very creative in what he does. Levi Barnes, we saw that last time out, didn't we? But Softus, as you say, is teak tough, stalks forward, head down low, and he is pretty much what he says on the back of his shorts there, pitbull, and that's what you expect from him, a guy that just comes forward and not a lot of imagination in what he does, just storms forward and looks to be rough with that head and wing those shots over. You've got to be careful of that, but Barnes boxing well here on the outside, moving around the perimeter of the ring, out the southpaw stance now. Working well with a jab, whipping those body shots in. There you go, lovely
right
shot.
Uppercut. The timing was beautiful, wasn't it?
Yeah, really nice shot there from Barnes. Again, whipping those shots in, punch. Shot selection's great, isn't it?
It's not only his shot selection as well, it's the way that he kind of just moves and switches stance with such ease, and the way that he can just make sure he's in the right place at the right time, so the shots go flying past him, and then he just counters with such brilliant shots, such good fundamentals, just like that straight 1-2 which he just threw. And I think that's a credit to Andy ABROL out of the Sharp Style gym, because all the fighters which we're seeing come out of there do a lot very, very well, and that was classy boxing there from Barnes, and the crowd respond to it, and that's exactly what they came to see, Spencer.
Yep, nice work this from Levi Barnes, a nice fluidity around his work, moving really well, relaxed with the shots, being very creative. Great start there from Barnes, who'll be very happy with himself walking back to that corner, and I'm sure the corner will be very pleased with him as well. Dominated that opening round, boxing out the orthodox stance, then switching to southpaw. Good shot selection, body shots going in, uppercuts, a little bit of everything really.
Spencer, you've been around the sport a long time. You've seen a lot of good amateurs come through the pro ranks. You've seen good prospects fail, and you've seen prospects do very well. There'll be people watching this saying he's fighting somebody who is no way near his level. And we've got to agree with that, haven't we? But when's the right time to start stepping him up, do you think? Because it can happen too soon, can't it?
Listen, I told you it's all about the apprenticeship right now. Levi Barnes was a great amateur, 6-0 as a pro. Give the kid time. He needs opponents like this, tough, stubborn kids that are going to push forward. You know, make him work. Make him, you know, sort of be creative. That's what he needs like that, and that's all part of the apprenticeship before you go on. And when the time's right, his corner will know, his team will know. At the moment, he's got to develop. He's at the 6-round stage now. We want to see him move on to 8 rounds, 10 rounds, area titles. You know, English, British, Commonwealth, European. Go through the system.
That's almost what it's there for, isn't it? And they're good stepping stones, all of those belts. But he does a lot well, as we keep on saying, and that was a really, really well-timed, perfectly thrown body shot from Barnes. He just stuck it under the rib of the man from Ukraine.
Yep, Softus, I'll tell you what, he's going nowhere though, is he? Just felt that body shot though, lovely. Right hand, left hand, went to the body there, Softus stalking forward. A little one-dimensional, feet crossing over as well, letting the shots go and nothing having real effect. Barnes moving well, picking the shots well, but the body shots especially, very impressive.
He just gets his timing just right, does Levi Barnes. 90 to 95% of the time, the timing is absolutely spot on. He just can see the mistakes, the way that his opponent is falling in, and he'll make him pay for it. And when they throw shots back at him, especially when they're wild, like we've seen Softus do, he makes him pay for it. But he's just starting to let his hands go now, and the crowd are loving it once again as he throws a unforgiving left hook under the right elbow of the man from Ukraine, and we could hear him wince from a few feet away here at ringside.
Yep, Softus really felt that body shot go in there, just pulled the elbow down. To his credit, still fighting, still pushing forward, but Barnes in complete control here.
It was a really good counter left hook to the head there. He just blocked the right hook from Softus and come back with a lead hook of his own, which again the timing was nice, and he can't seem to put a foot wrong here, Levi Barnes, and almost every shot which he throws lands in some sort of capacity.
Yeah, just moving around the perimeter of the ring now, switching from orthodox to southpaw. Got to be careful though. Softus just giving him a little reminder there with a right hand. Barnes comes back with a nice 1-2 to the body himself. Softus just missing again there with the right. Barnes turns him well.
Barnes will be keen to do exactly what he's been doing in the last 10 seconds and finish this round strong. Yep. He's given it 100% in every single moment of that round and in this fight so far. But I guess the question I've got for you, Spencer, because looking at the way that Softus throws his shots, sometimes they're incredibly wild. Now, is it harder to defend against someone like that sometimes because of the nature of the way that they're throwing their shots, especially when you're in the gym with good quality fighters who are doing the foundations well, and all of a sudden you've got someone throwing a shot like they're in a pub?
Yep, good question. Is it harder? Well, listen, when they're a little bit unpredictable and the shots are coming from angles that you don't really see, then the answer is yes. You've got to stay switched on. You've one moment, a lapse of concentration, and you're in desperate trouble because you get hit with a shot and the fight turns around. In this instance, no, because I think Softus, we can see the shots coming. Levi Barnes, all he's got to do is stay switched on, stay focused, and there'll be no problem. You know, he's got that quality about him. He won't get caught with shots like that. I think for Softus, unfortunately for him, he's a little too one-dimensional, walking forward. You know where the shot's going to come from. It's like a sixth sense. You know, there's no real finesse about anything that he's doing, and it's quite easy to read.
And I guess that's what separates the levels of fighters within boxing. But I've got to say, I am watching this now and thinking, how worth is it? How worth it is it for Softus to just continue in this fight, because he is losing almost every moment of the round, and there has to become a point, doesn't there, where you say enough's enough?
Well, not really, Darren. I think because the big problem that you've got is if Softus gets stopped, he doesn't box for 28 days. You know, this is his bread and butter. He wants to fight again next week. So for him, I think the main objective is to get through to that final bell, to get through unmarked, you know, unscathed, so he can go on and fight again next week. That's how they sort of earn the money. So when you get stopped, as a fighter, a professional fighter that gets stopped, he gets 28 days. That puts him back, because he's probably not going to box again for 6 weeks or so. Yeah,
absolutely. He won't want to be stopped, but this is a very one-sided contest, and it's becoming a bit like target practice for Levi Barnes, the lad from Blackpool who's got such good support here. From Preston, even, my bad, but the fighter who fights out of the gym in Blackpool but is from Preston.
Well, lovely uppercut gone in. Softus took that shot well, mate. I tell you what, he come back with a body shot of his own, lands a good right hand as well. Little reminder there for Barnes, just not to switch off what I was talking about before. Got nailed with a couple of right hands there. Body shot again goes in, and Softus under immense pressure again here, taking some big shots. To his credit, he's taking them well.
And that was a good lead hook from Levi Barnes, and Softus just grabs hold of him just to make sure that he's got enough time to recover and get a bit of that energy back. And as he threw a wild cricket bowl type of a right hand, Barnes lands a left hook under the elbow, under the right elbow, then lands another one.
Yeah, Barnes just trying to turn the screw a little bit here, relentless pressure, but he's got to be careful. He keeps that left hand low down by his waist, and he is susceptible to getting hit with those right hands over the top. Maybe something he needs to go and work on in the gym.
That was another very well-timed left hook which landed clean on the temple of Softus. And I've got to say, it's quite surprising, Spencer, that he hasn't hit the canvas, because Barnes has landed some really good quality shots, hasn't he?
He certainly has, and it's a great shot selection as well. There's a lot to like about Levi Barnes, that's for sure. He's fan-friendly, TV-friendly. Looking at his style, he's nice to watch. Great shot selection, body and head. You know, maybe one little criticism I would have, if there is one for him, is that he maybe switches off a little bit too much, and that's maybe because he's in complete control and he feels that he can get away with that, but at another level, you won't get away with that. So maybe that's something that he needs to work on a little bit, just keeping that focus, that concentration for 3 minutes of each round. But great prospect, great little fighter.
Well, we're going to the fourth round here, and we've spent a bit of time over the last few months, Spencer and I, watching fighters from the north of England. The last show we did together was a Steve Wood and Josh Warrington show, and Levi Barnes was on that, as we spoke about earlier. And I've got to say, he's one of my favourite fighters from this part of the country, because, like you said, Spencer, he is fan-friendly, and the sort of work which he's doing is making Softus pretty frustrated, because Barnes just moved so quickly and so out of range that he didn't know where he was for a moment.
Yeah, good work again there from Barnes, switching from orthodox to southpaw, back to orthodox again, landing body shots, head shots, great selection. Yep, like I said, there's a lot to like about this kid.
Barnes just moving around now, showing us his defensive skills. He doesn't throw a lot back, but just on that back foot and showing that whatever you throw Softus, I'm going to make sure it doesn't hit me.
Barnes just controlling the spacing there at the moment, as well as Softus is pushing forward, trying to get in range like that. Barnes just taking that shuffle back and just out of distance, like an arm and a half away, just in range so that he can come back with one step and be in range himself. So that's impressive stuff with him, with the footwork as well.
All credit to the man from Ukraine, Softus, because he's been hit with a lot of big shots, a lot of big, horrible body shots. Some shots have landed on his chin, on his temple, and he's kept coming. He has looked at the end of the round like he's not too sure which corner he should walk to, which is concerning, but he's still in there, he's still stepping forward, he's still in the battle.
Yep, Softus, you know, you got to look at this kid and go, look, he come with a tough reputation. He's 40 fights in. He's only ever been stopped twice. So that tells you he's been in with some good prospects as well. Tells you how tough this kid is, and Barnes is doing everything he can to try and create that opening and get that stoppage. But Softus gives him that little reminder every now and then. Never gives up hope.
He certainly does, and just a few moments ago, Barnes really loaded up to try and throw it looked like a left hook, but Softus was in there and closed the gap before he could land it. And he is starting to put some stuff on his shots, put some sauce on them. I don't think he'll get his man out of here. I did think it at the start, but Softus has proven how tough he is.
No, Softus is definitely not going anywhere, that's for sure. He doesn't give up hope. To be fair, he's lost every single round so far, and he's walked back to that corner, and he's probably, in his mind, still thinking, I'll land this shot in a minute, I'll get this job done. But he's not going to, because Barnes is on a different level. He just stands, taking a look at him standing in the corner, taking the instructions from his trainer. Yeah, another good round there for Barnes.
Spencer, sometimes as a fighter in there, when you're landing shots like Barnes is, have you just got to sometimes just say, I'm not getting this guy out of here, so I might as well just keep doing what I'm doing, go through the motions and stop swinging?
No, you just got to, you know, I think from Barnes' point of view, it's just about systematically breaking his opponent down with an accumulation of punches. That's how you get someone like this out of there. I think it's just about just volume, trying to hurt him, going through the gears, doing something a little bit different, because Softus is one tough cookie.
It's a good shout, and here we are in the penultimate round of this 6-round contest at the Winter Gardens here in Blackpool. Still a couple of good fights to come live on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel. If you're just joining us, you're joined by myself, Darren Rees, and Spencer Oliver. We've had a few decent fights already. It's worth going back and watching them. One very frustrating heavyweight fight for Lewis Wright. And now we are watching Levi Barnes versus Mikhailo Softus from Ukraine, who is one tough man. He's been hit with everything, and he keeps coming forward over and over again.
Yep, he's never going to lose heart, lose spirit, is he, Softus? He's tough as they come. Often loses, but always puts up a good contest, and he's doing that here against Levi Barnes, who's showing great variety, great shot selection, controlling the space well as well. Little moments or little lapses of concentration have cost him a couple of times when getting hit like that. Something to work on, but an immense talent, Levi Barnes, and for a kid of only 6 contests, showing great maturity in there, and there's a lot to like, isn't there? A lot to work with.
That fan-friendly style should take him a long way, and that Preston crowd will follow him. Another member of the Sharp Style gym in Blackpool, where so many fighters have come out of it in such a good way, especially in the amateurs. A solid amateur gym, and now proving to be a fantastic professional gym as well.
Yeah, we just see Barnes just a moment ago there, just creating the space, taking half a step back to create the space to let that right hand go, which was very, very impressive. Like I say, there's a lot to like about this kid. I like a lot of stuff that he does. Works well, stays nice and relaxed on the inside. Good head movement there, come back with a lovely 1-2 as well.
It can't be an easy fighter to work out, Levi Barnes, because of how often he changes the angle, how often he switches that stance, how often he changes his punch variety, his punches up, so his variety of punches are so good. He's got to be a bit of a nightmare, isn't he, as a fighter, to be, you know, be in the opposite corner. You think, how am I going to suss this kid out?
Yep, I think that with someone like Levi Barnes, you've just got to try and sit on his chest and break the rhythm a little bit, because if you let him get into a flow, it's very difficult to break. You know, he works so well out of the orthodox stance, southpaw stance, moves well on the back foot, loves coming forward and having a fight, likes standing there trading like he is now with Softus. The crowd just getting into that one. Good finish to the round there, but yeah, I like Levi Barnes because he likes a little bit of everything. You know, it's the sort of fighter I like to watch, where he likes going on the back foot defensively. He likes, you know, slipping and sliding, rolling, moving the head. But he also likes to sit there and, you know, get down and dirty in the trenches at times and just trade it out, which is, of course, fan-friendly. So, yeah, there's a lot to like, and he's dominating this one so far. Going into this 6th and final round, he's won everything on my scorecard. Softus has made it very competitive, but it's been a good fight and a good learning fight for Levi Barnes, and looking forward to seeing him progress, that's for sure.
It always fascinates me when you see these fighters coming up and fighting these away corner fighters and fighting on shows. Fighting on shows like this, and how they will do when they step up a level and fight other good prospects and good domestic fights and those kind of things. That's when you really see, you know, who's got the quality, who's got the minerals, who's got what it takes to win those titles, those areas, those Englishes, those British, and then move on, because they're not easy to win, are they?
No, they're certainly not, but this is the beginning of the journey for Levi Barnes, and they're going to have a job holding him back, if I'm honest. He's one of those kids that's got a lot of talent, and, you know, you feel in another couple of fights he'll be ready for those area title fights, English, you know, moving on further than that. But it's hard to predict where he's going to go, but he's certainly got a lot of talent and starting to sit down on those punches as well there, like that.
Barnes just controlling the pace like he has from the very first moment. The first bell signaled the start of this bout. Controlling that distance, controlling where he wants his man. He almost plays with him here like a cat with a ball and just makes Softus miss over and over again, which is good confidence building. But he has been caught a few times, that's for sure.
Just starting to load up on his shots now, Barnes as well, just planting his feet now, bending at the knees and really drilling those shots in. He wants that grandstand finish. He wants to try and get this job done inside the distance. The problem he's got is, though, he's got one tough little Ukrainian in front of him in Softas, who's very stubborn and loves to have a fight.
And he landed one just a moment ago. It just ever so slightly grazed the chin of Levi Barnes, but it wasn't something which was going to trouble him or cause him a hard time. He shook it straight off and was back to his boxing immediately. And back to the centre of the ring, establishing that jab once again. With that good head movement, really good head movement. But he doesn't just waste that opportunity of dodging a punch, rolling or slipping. He almost always comes back with something, doesn't he?
Yeah, good foot movement there again from Barnes. Look at that, flashy stuff. Now knows that he's not far away from the finish line, not taking any chances, showing us the skill that he's got with that foot movement, switching, rolling the head as well, trying to put on a show for the fans here.
Well, we're going to the last 10 seconds of this sixth and final round, which has been a really good, solid performance. Plenty to like about Levi Barnes, and the crowd showed their appreciation. They liked that one. There was loads of energy. There was some flashy stuff. There was some technically very good stuff for people who really know and understand and study, or maybe even training the sport themselves. They'll be watching that and appreciating that. And he's got something for pretty much everyone.
Yep, great performance there from Levi Barnes. No doubt it's his hand that's going to be raised. And he'll be pleased with that. He'll be pleased to get those rounds under his belt. Softas was a very tough opponent, stubborn opponent. He'll have learnt a lot from that. As the referee calls them both to the centre of the ring, I think it's inevitable who the victor's going to be. Good performance there from Levi Barnes.
Indeed, I'm impressed again, and I already can't wait to watch his next bout. And I'm sure there'll be plenty of people who enjoyed watching him. But let's get the official announcement from our MC, Steve Reed. Well, of course, it went the way that we expected it to. He was a deserved winner. I don't think we could have given him any more praise in that fight and pointed out the things which he did in that fight. So well done to Levi Barnes, and hats off to Softas from Ukraine, because he is one tough man. He got hit with everything in the kitchen sink, and he continued to walk forwards over and over and over again. And they're the sort of fighters who get invited back to fight these prospects, because they give them a hard night at the office, they give them the rounds, and they make sure that they do plenty of learning, and that's exactly what it's about. But it will certainly be interesting, and I'll be watching with an eager eye at Levi Barnes' career, because I certainly believe he's the sort of fighter which can go on to win those area titles and move up to English and take it from there. But the levels are very, very high there, and it's not that I don't think he can get there, but until you see him in there with some tougher or higher opposition, that's when we'll really know how good he is. But we'll catch a word of him in just a moment as he joins Don McGuinness.
Well, Levi, job done. You moved to 7-0. But I just firstly want to ask you, what is it like sharing a ring with one of the toughest men on the planet, I think, in Mikhailo Softis?
Yeah, it is. It's a good learning curve, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, you have to fight hard to get to the top, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Even though he's not at the top, you still need to fight so hard to get to the top, I think. It's all learning curve, isn't it?
He's not shy in like throwing one of those overhands, and I mean, you've got to be careful, haven't you?
Yeah, no, of course, you can't go in there and switch off him because he's there to catch you out. Like, he's there to try and catch you out, isn't he? If you don't turn up on the day, he'll catch you.
No, it's just one of those away fighters that is a handful, isn't he, for anybody, as his record suggests. What's for you now? What's the plan?
It's finding what works best to fight, isn't it? Like, I've boxed everywhere from 64 to 70 now, so I'm fighting to see which one to fight better at, which one I feel stronger at and faster at. So, and to keep the same opponents from now and work my way up.
What are you thinking though?
It's been like...
in terms of weight?
Oh, weight? I don't know, I fight like welterweight, innit? Well, I'm down at welterweight, but I fought at all different weights from there, do you know what I mean? Like today I weighed at 70, the last fight was 68, and one before that was 65, do you know what I mean? It's just finding the balance.
And just a word now about fighting here in Blackpool. I know you're from just down the road in Preston, but you're based very much obviously in Blackpool at the Sharp Style Gym. How important is it for you lot to build this as a real hub, a real home for boxing in the Northwest?
It's a good stadium, I think it's getting better and busier, innit? Like, every one of them's getting busier, obviously, and it's getting a lot better. The boys will performing a lot better as well, everyone.
We'll let you crack on because I know you want to be ringside to watch Jake as well in the main event. We're waiting to get out with the co-main now because we're going to see a young fella make his debut now in Brian McMillan. So over to our MC, Steve Reed.
Well, this is our penultimate contest of the evening, and Ryan McMillan has come from Wales for this fight, and this is actually his debut. He's brought a big and lively crowd of him, one of the biggest and most noisiest crowds which we've had tonight. What will be going through his mind, Spencer, on his professional debut?
Well, there's a lot of nerves involved in your professional debut. It's always about wanting to make an impression, and like you say, Ryan McMillan has brought a big fan base up here with him as well. So it is about keeping his composure, keeping himself together, just feeding his way into it, because amateur boxing, professional boxing, two totally different sports. And he's going to find that out tonight, McMillan. But let's see how he deals with it. Good start here to the round, found the range with a jab really well, getting through with the crosses. So nice start from McMillan, the start that he would have wanted.
I couldn't find huge amounts out about him when I was doing my research for this fight, but one of the things I can tell you is he's got a big background in Muay Thai and possibly some other combat sports from what I've seen, so he's had some of that competitive experience in the past. But this professional debut in the boxing ring with these particular rules is something which he will be performing in for the first time. And that was a good right hand to the body, which he followed up with a left hook to the head.
Yeah, he's got him there to the body. A delayed reaction there from Dale Kellum. He felt the weight of that.
But that was low.
Definitely wasn't low, that was on the waistband there, and he needs to switch the attacks to the body again. McMillan going to the head there, he needs to turn the shots underneath. I'm not sure he recognises he hurt Kellum there.
And I've got to tell you that Dale Kellum looks like he's still in a bit of pain from that body shot. And I don't think the referee is calling that as a count. And
yeah, he's in trouble here, mate. I don't think he's going to beat the count.
He's not going to make a count. And that's it, it's all over. Yeah, he seems to be in a lot of pain, Spencer.
Yeah, terrible pain there. I'm not sure. It could possibly even be a broken rib. I'm not sure what that is, but he is in desperate pain.
No, he is, but the medical team will look after him and give him all the help and medical assistance which he needs. But in terms of the way the professional debuts go, that is exactly how you want your professional debut to go.
It don't go better than that, does it? I mean, debuts go one way or the other. They're disastrous or frustrating or sensational. And it's fair to say that Ryan McMillan's had a sensational debut there. Great shot, good to see them both supporting each other at the end of that one. Nice to see Dale Kellum back on his feet. But what a performance there from Ryan McMillan.
There's some great energy there, really good energy, and this is a moment that he will remember for the rest of his life. That professional debut representing Wales with that Welsh flag draped over him, huge smile on his face as he just walked past us as he made his way to the ring earlier with Red Hot Chili Peppers booming inside this magnificent venue. You could see how much it meant to him.
Referee just pulling both fighters together now as we are going to get the announcement
Well, let's get the official time announcement from our MC, Steve Reed. Well, it was a body shot which ended it, and it was a body shot which got Ryan McMillan his first professional win in front of all of his loved ones, his friends and his family, who have come out on probably 2 or 3 coaches, the amount of them. An enormous buzz for him, a huge buzz. You won't beat that really, will you?
No, great performance there. Crowd have turned out in their legions here. They're happy with what they've seen. Job well done there from Ryan McMillan. He's pleased with that, and you can see the smile on his face. He'd be glad to get that one out of the way. That can be the worst one sometimes, and it's good to see him now joining Don McGuinness.
Yeah, it feels good. I manifested this from day one. It's grateful to be here. Grateful for the support. Yeah, just grateful for the support. You see the support there. Different. You don't really see it that much on people first started off boxing, but it's all hard work to get here. And yeah, I'm really well.
I'll get to the support in a second, but you just mentioned a word there, manifest. You were here very early today. You were walking around, you were doing the ring walk when there was nobody in here. You were visualising everything that was going to happen. Did it all go to plan?
To be completely honest with you, I was wasted a second, but yeah, I've got the shots there. I've got the shots there. It was just about picking it, taking my time, picking the shots, and then trying to throw when he's ready. But he came out, so he ended up walking onto a little bit too early, bit into the body quickly, and then I was just sit back up. So he presented himself, he opened up, shot landed, thought he might get back up, and I was just sit back a little bit, enjoy the ring experience. But there we go, we got to stop in the first round. You can complain about that. I don't.
He came to have a go. It was the body shot that was the difference. Again, he never really recovered from the first one, did he? You knew that in there, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, body shot's just one of my many punches I can always rely on. But like I said, that's just a snippet of what's to come. There's a new kid in town. I'll line the bush back and everyone knows. I'll bring the whole crowd with me as well.
And we know where you're from. You're from North Wales.
North Wales.
Colwyn area, aren't you?
Yeah.
Tell us about them. How you've managed to bring so many people from North Wales to Blackpool tonight.
Well, to be honest with you, everyone's been invested in my journey for a long time. Everyone's been following me. You know, I've had no coach, I've much experience. I've trained myself, I still train myself in my gym. I built myself around hard work, dedication. I was never a skilled boxer at all. I was a fighter, and I had something that I think you only teach certain people. And yeah, I've got that, and then I hone my skills, stay consistent. To all the doubters, doubt me now, innit? I'm on the professional stage, self-trained, done my thing, and now I'm here, and I've brought my whole army with me. This is just the start. This is 2 hours down the road. 2 hours down the road, there's 170 people here. What a show in Liverpool will build the roof off the place, I promise you.
We look forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
Brilliant tonight. Well done, man.
Really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Shout out to all my sponsors for making this happen. Shout out to all my fans. Shout out to everybody. Grateful. Just grateful, man.
Well done to the bar. You better go and join.
War for me.
Fair play, Ryan. There you go. So, Ryan McMillan, a victorious debut. He's 1-0 now as a pro. Let's get on with the main event. Here's our MC, Steve Reed.
Well, here we go, the final bout of the evening, and the extremely talented Jake ABROL kicks things off nice and fast, and he has not got an easy fight tonight as he fights Jordan Ellison, who's an extremely experienced away corner fighter who's been in there with some great fights.
Well, he's down already. Desperate shots there. He got cold there, Ellison. The uppercut started it, and he followed through there, ABROL. The right hand, left hand, right hand, and Ellison was in desperate trouble, and he could be in trouble here. He's got to do well to survive this. 15 wins, 54 losses. He's been around a long, long time, and he's going to need all of that experience now.
And just as I was saying, how he's been in with some of those really good fighters, like the likes of Adam Azim and Gary Cully and Zelfa Barrett and Ryan Garner and all those talented names that you would have heard of and seen. ABROL drops him. That was a heavy right hook from Jake ABROL.
Yeah, Ellison needs to cover up here and take his time, regroup, recover, because that was a big combination. And again, it's the combinations of shots, the accumulation of shots that are getting through here.
I remember before Jake ABROL's last fight in Leeds on that Josh Warrington, Steve Wood show, John Evans, a good friend of mine and a very talented writer, said to me, "You know that Jake ABROL, Dan?" I said, "Yep." He said, "He can really fight." And he has proven that time and time again. He knows exactly what he's doing when he sets those shots up. He looks so relaxed, he just pops that jab out and then just throws those fierce shots, those two right hooks to the body. Had some venom in them.
Yeah, really sitting down on his shots, isn't he? Out of his 10 victories, 4 of those have come by the way of KO, but he looks like he's hitting harder than that now. With the experience, he's starting to sit down more on his shots. The shot selection is good as well. He's picking them very well. Time is good. Uppercut goes in, slams the jab in as well. Good work here from ABROL.
And Jordan Ellison just tucking up nicely now and coming forwards, but ABROL throwing his shots back, landing a couple and making sure that he knows that every time you come forward at me, this is what I'm going to hit you with, something like this.
Yep, been a dominant round from Jake ABROL. Couldn't have started better. All started with that combination right at the beginning of the round. The right hand followed by the uppercut. Right hand went again, just took the legs of Jordan Ellison away. He done well, Ellison, to recover from that. Used all his experience, kept his hands up high, kept out of trouble. ABROL landed some further big shots and a dominant opening round there. 10-8 round there from Jake ABROL. And Ellison is going to earn his money tonight, that's for sure, Darren.
He is, but Jake ABROL was meant to be fighting for a Commonwealth youth title and was meant to be having an opponent come over from Ghana, and there was a few challenges with that, but they got over the challenges with that, and then that fighter That fighter hurt their back a couple of days ago, so fair play to Jordan Ellison, who's stepped in at real short notice, and you've always got to take your hat off to those fighters, because I know he's an away corner fighter, but just to jump in with a talent like Jake ABROL, you've got to tip your hat to him.
Yeah, it's a challenge on its own, isn't it? To fight Jake ABROL on short notice. And he's going to earn his money tonight, like I say, Darren, because he was caught with some big shots in that opening round. Started the second round better here as Ellison. But like I say, he's going to need all that experience to get through this one, because ABROL, you can just sense the timing is there tonight. And when that timing's there and, you know, the shots are flowing the way that they are, it's difficult. Body shot goes in, he felt that again.
Body shot and a delay on it. You could tell it was textbook stuff, the way that he put his weight on his left foot and he chucked it in, and Jordan Ellison will do extremely well to make the count there, because that one was superb. That was textbook stuff as far as lead hooks to the body go.
Yeah, beautiful shot there, delayed reaction. I felt it slamming right underneath the elbow there. Left hook crept in, and that delayed reaction, Darren, let me tell you, mate, I've been hit with shots like that before, and it is crippling. When you get hit with a shot like that, you go over and there's nothing you can do about it. People that will be watching that and saying, come on mate, get up, you can get up. Trust me, you can't. When you get hit in the solar plexus and a shot lands like that, it's all over. Good night, curtains, done. What a performance there from Jake ABROL. Just underlined what we already thought about what a great prospect it was. He was meant to box for the Commonwealth Youth title tonight, didn't happen for whatever reason. Showed tremendous professionalism by getting on with the job, someone totally different, staying focused and getting the job done. What a performance there.
Solid performance, really, really impressive. It's the sort of shot you can show a kid who's starting boxing. That's how you throw a left hook to the body. That's exactly how you do it. But let's get the official announcement from our MC, Steve Reed. Well, there's some good positive vibes coming from that corner of the sharp style gym in Blackpool, because Jake ABROL's dad, Andy ABROL, and the corner team are very, very happy with that and impressed with what he just delivered against an extremely tough and experienced away corner fighter in Jordan Ellison. And I've said it a couple of times and I'll say it again, that is exactly how you throw those body shots, and he couldn't have done it any better. He's now joined with Don McGuinness.
Yeah, thank you, Darren. Well, Jake, great statement that. Beautiful body shot. When you see that delayed reaction, you always think, that fella's in trouble. Jordan Ellison, tough character, but that was a key. Talk us through it.
Yeah, just like you said, them body shots, the head shots, I was banging him hard to the head, and he was taking a well spell. Obviously I dropped him in the first, but he recovered well, he took them head shots, but them body shots, it's a different game. I was speaking to Brad before after his fight, and he said the same. He said that little 2-second delay, like you say, and he changed the fight massively.
You see all your mates jumping up and down ringside as well. We've got a very tight gym there, haven't we? Sharp styling, obviously very supportive, very competitive, and again, you can go back on each other, and then you do the second round as well. The pressure was on. I mean, obviously Lewis and Levi went the distance, but you all push each other on, don't you?
Yeah, massively. We're like brothers in there. I don't think there's another gym like it with a bond they have between each other. But like you said, as much as we want to be nice to each other, we know that friendly competitiveness is there, gets us all to where we want to be.
It was a big week for you this as well. You've had a change of opponent. You thought you were boxing for the Commonwealth Youth fight, but that all changed last minute basically. Did you struggle mentally at all to be at the right place, if you like, for this in your hometown, in this really fantastic setting you're going to go?
It was obviously disappointing, of course. It was my first title in the pros, first 10 rounds there. Looking very forward to it, but I've got my dad behind me. I've got a good team around me, and everyone has kept me in high spirits. And Jordan Ellison was a good fight for me. I was one of them been meant to have before, it fell through, so everything happens for a reason, I guess.
So what do you want to do now?
Whatever Steve and my dad say, really. I just keep fighting and keep learning and getting better.
Well, let's find out what Steve's got to say. Come on, Steve. You can get off now, Jake. I'm still talking to you as well. You need to get.
Well done, Jake. Yeah, good win that, mate.
So, Jake, he says it's all up to you now. Spencer Oliver's going to join us as well.
To be fair, he's already done what we're doing with Jake next. He should have been fighting for the Commonwealth Feud title tonight.
I've come to get my side back.
Yeah,
I want to finish on this side.
Yeah, he should have fought for the Commonwealth Feud title fight tonight. He didn't do for reasons that I could go on for, but he didn't. So that fight's going to happen November the 30th at Bolton. So that's next Jake's fight. And like I was just saying to Spencer, he took the blow of not fighting for the title quite well. He's performed really well tonight, and that'll just make him a little bit more confidence when he does eventually get to fight. Yeah.
Let me tell you how difficult that is for a fighter when they're getting a Commonwealth Feud title. You go, right, this is going to kickstart my career. Now time to push on. That doesn't materialise for whatever reason, problems with the opponent, and you find yourself in an 8-rounder. Straight away, that's psychologically hard to overcome. And to go in there and box the guy that he boxed there, who's very tough, forget the record, like he's been around a long, long time, very, very tough, pushes fighters, takes them all away, to go in there and do the job that he done, to show that composure and pick that body shot the way that he did, I've got to say that was impressive beyond belief. That was a top-class performance with everything that he's been through before that, in the build-up to that one. You know, you've got to salute him for getting the job done in the manner that he did, because I thought we was in for an 8 rounds there. Yeah. I honestly did. And yeah, wow, what a start, wasn't it?
Well, I'll tell you what, there's been some good statements made tonight from these Blackpool boys. I mean, obviously there was 5 from Andy Abrol's gym. A very, very impressive debut from Ryan McMillan as well. Showing up right down the road in Liverpool. I mean, pick out the highlights tonight, Steve.
Well, you know, I think we've had 4 stoppages out of 7, and sometimes you go into the shows with 10 fights, you're desperate for the stoppage and you can't get one. Tonight, 7 fights. Looking at the card, I was thinking we might have got 1 or 2. We've got 4, and if you look at like Levi Barnes has pummeled that kid for 6 rounds of quality. How tough is him?
So what you're saying is there's going to be 3 disappointed kids from Blackpool. You know, when they all want to follow suit, don't they? They all want to get the victory or whatever. I think one thing's fair to say. What a fantastic venue, by the way. Like, unbelievable venue for boxing as well. And I think one thing's fair to say. I think Steve is probably coming back to Blackpool. I'm sure of that. There's a lot of talent up here right now.
Yeah, there is, and you know we've had problems with the show, but we've pulled it together. And as I say, people seeing, I think some of the stars of British boxing in probably 3 or 4 years' time. I mean, these are above British level that we're watching tonight, and I won't be surprised if some TV promoters are on the phone against me on Monday. But you know, they can wait because we're bringing them through the right way. We're not going to rush these kids because we know we're looking with something, and they're very talented. And the other thing is they're very young as well, so we've got to bear that in mind. And as I say, with Levi, he was sensational. But how hard is that kid? You know what I mean? You've just got to praise those kids for taking punishment like that every couple of weeks. It's a phenomenon itself, isn't it?
I think for me it was Levi Barnes sort of looked like the one. You just look at him and you go, the kid's got everything, and I think with the right guidance he's going to go a long, long way for sure. And I think Jake ABROL there, just when I thought you couldn't get a better performance after Levi Barnes, I thought that's it. You ain't going to improve on that. The kid's got everything, star quality about him. Jake ABROL, he equalled that as well. I'm not going to say that he stole the show, but them 2 kids, for sure, they're stars of the future. I think they go on, and Steve, we've been around the game a long time, and you know talent when you see it. And I think they've got star quality written all over them.
Yeah.
Well, we've had it in Blackpool tonight in this magnificent setting. You're a busy man, Steve. You love to put these promotions on. So what's next?
Well, next one we've got another show with talkSPORT on the 28th of September in Bolton, and you know, we've got 2 great top of the bills there. We've got Willie Goldie Smith, who's from Blackpool, but he's on holiday today, so he couldn't fight here. He's fighting that Michael Smith. Now, what we've got there is 2 kids who can't be matched, so they're fighting each other. So that's a barnstormer of a fight. it ain't lasting 5 rounds. But the great thing is you don't know who's going to lose. So that's what I'm really looking for. And then we've got Nathan Qualls v Sheldon McDonald, which is a genuine 50-50 for Central Area Cruiserweight. And again, some talent, you know what I mean? I think at the moment I'm blessed with young kids, and you know, we've done really well. We like yourself for Barrett's, your Terry Flanagan's, your Josh Warrington's, you know, getting him into world level. And I'm really looking forward to developing these the same. And it's good that because they're not on TV, they've been seen on talkSPORT, which is fantastic.
It is indeed. And now Spencer Oliver's got to behave himself in Blackpool.
Well, I can't guarantee that.
Yeah, no comment. I'm not saying a word, mate. The good thing is my hotel is like a stone throw away from here.
Yeah, you're not going to stay there, though, that's the problem.
The worry is it's a jungle out there, it's wild out there.
I think Louis V's just collared you. His pub's on the way. You've got to go past it. Yeah.
He did. I can't believe it. He was boxing when I was boxing. He's got a pub that's literally like 1 minute away across the road. He went, "You don't recognise me, do you?" I went, "No." He's obviously put on a little bit of ding and whatnot, and we ain't seen each other for a long, long time. He said, "Don't recognise me?" "No." And he said, "Louis." I was like, "Oh, no way." So we're going to go and have a drink over the road.
Yeah, that's fantastic,
nice time to get out this town.
Yeah.
Well, fantastic night here at the Winter Gardens in Blackpool, and as Steve Wood says, it moves on to Bolton on the 28th of September. So you can watch all that on the talkSPORT Boxing YouTube channel, and of course on the VIP stream as well. Fantastic action tonight. Thanks for watching, and good night.
Yeah.
Right.
Cheers, Ben.
Well, yeah, Steve, thanks, mate. That was great. Yeah, it's really good, mate. Well done.
Have a lovely evening.
Yeah, I will, mate.
He has put some timber on me.
Oh, yes, he was. I know he was boxing when I was boxing. Well, yeah, we're around the same. Who's that fella then? Louis Speeds. Do you remember him? He was like, he was Central Flyweight champion. When I was boxing, Louis boxed at the same time. He's like my sort of age. Louis Hogarth, is that it?
You going over there?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go back to the hotel first, because I've got to drop some stuff off, and then I'm gonna go.
I'll be a little bit, so I'll just text you and find out where you are.
Just text me. Yeah, I'll be in the hotel waiting for you.
Going, yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, I've got to drive home.
All right. Steve, thanks so much, mate. Yeah, it was good. Was you happy with that?
Yeah, I was.
Sharon, to get Mike. You didn't put me in your bag, no? You're not bad now, are you?
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, lads. I appreciate it. The full side was good, I was with shit. Sorry about it. Well, if I slag myself off, then Steve might take a little pity and go off. You know, it feels really bad. Now, the sound of the managed to get the sound all right on the thing is, and I don't know why it was working before, was it?
It always happens. It was that double thing the same happen. I think like even if it's cases like there's obviously different cameras and vision and everything. I wonder if it's worth taking the sound. What kind of taking the sound is? Well, that was the sound man could do.
Yeah, but